Okay, so here I am in the Tesla Cybertruck. I'm in Salem, Virginia, and I am just getting ready to leave the Hampton Inn in Salem, Virginia, and it's right here. They actually have 5 electric vehicle charging stations with Tesla universal wall connectors. I got charged up to 94% here in the Cybertruck, which is showing 302 miles. I've got 144 miles to go to the Hard Rock in Bristol, Virginia. So let me do a reset. By the way, this trip is from Roanoke, Virginia to the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. So we're going to hit reset on the Roanoke trip. We're going to click here to rename it, and we're just going to put DFW. So that way we measure all of our percentages and consumption and energy and miles and etc. on the way back. So it looks like we've got 144 miles to go, 2 hours and 17 minutes. Arrive around 2:49 p.m. with 36% left on the battery. Now, it's cold out. It's 58 degrees, 12:32 p.m. We're going to run self-driving, and we're going to run version 14.1.7, the latest version of self-driving here in the Cybertruck. It is late November 2025, and I'm looking forward to a cross-country road trip here in the Cybertruck. Follow along. This is just real-world road tripping content. It's me, you, and the camera. No fancy music, no fancy overlays. If you enjoy this type of real-world content, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. And by the way, if you're looking to buy a Tesla, use a referral link from a family member or friend, or look in the description of my video, and you'll see a link for my referral code. Save some money on your Tesla. And as I'm doing this video, I'll show you some other accessories I have, and there's some other discount codes there in the description of my video. Anyway, let's get on the road, and I'll be right back with you here in just a moment. I got to get out of the parking lot. I got to kind of check out, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here we go. It's, by the way, beautiful, beautiful day here in Roanoke, Virginia, and we are headed up now. We're going to pass the Sheets on Apperson Drive. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not liking the way the navigation's taking me. So, not that I want to shut off self-driving, but I really think I need to go straight to get on Interstate 81 here instead of going through town. Let's try that anyway. But here is the Sheets on Apperson Drive, and there are superchargers there at that Sheets. Let me zoom out here for a second. And Interstate 81's right up here, straight ahead. Well, it looks like navigation may be smarter than me, so I may go ahead and go left here because of some construction and stuff up ahead. So I should have trusted FSD. So there you go. A disengagement due to my own fault. And we are going to go ahead and try to jump over to the left. And a car just let me in very nicely. And now we can go the way that FSD wanted to go. By the way, I got this really cool rear view mirror here that I really enjoy, and I use it every trip. It's a digital rear view mirror. So EV Base makes those, sells those. It's a fantastic product. I highly recommend their products. My discount code, by the way, is BYTESLA. Anyway, just kick self-driving back on. I'm in the hurry mode profile. I'm going to scale that back to standard. Standard stays maybe a few miles an hour over the speed limit or within the speed limit. Hurry goes quite a bit above. And then Mad Max is exactly as described, Mad Max. So starting out the drive, I'm 1 mile in, 363 watt-hours per mile. This thing was plugged in charging. The cabin was already preconditioned there at the hotel. I love that Hampton Inn Salem East. They've got the Tesla universal wall connectors. They just put 5 of those in, and they are fantastic. So anyway, stay with me, follow along. We're going to have a great drive all the way back to Dallas-Fort Worth. Looking forward to the warmer weather. Headed through a couple stops along the way. We'll be in Bristol, Virginia tonight. Then I've got meetings, and I'll be in the Dandridge, Tennessee area, then down to Tunica, Mississippi area, and then ultimately back to Dallas-Fort Worth over the next several days. It's about a 12 to 1,300 mile road trip. I'll be going across Interstate 40 through Tennessee into Arkansas, and then ultimately getting on Interstate 30 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then home from there. But yeah, this is going to be a great one if you want to see how well FSD performs. And let's take a look at the full screen visualization on this massive Cybertruck screen. I think it's just completely impressive. And by the way, it is almost sentient, almost human-like. And this software has gotten so good. So follow along with me. This will be a long video, probably a couple-hour video, but it'll give you a feel. You know, if you're not from the areas I'm driving, or you don't have a Tesla, or you have one and want to get some tips, I'll certainly help you as best I can. I've got 19,442 miles on this Cybertruck, 426 watt-hours per mile, and this is a dual motor, all-wheel drive. I absolutely love it. One of the best vehicles I own, and I will be crossing the 20,000 mile mark on this trip, so I'll be giving you a 20,000 mile driving review as well. That'll be coming up not tomorrow, but the next day as I'm on the way to Mississippi. Today we've only got a short trek, just a little over 2 hours, to get up here to Bristol, Virginia. So this will be an easy one, but yeah, follow along. It's going to be fun, and I appreciate you watching. Look how good that was with FSD. I don't know if you saw what it just did, but heck, that was confusing for me. And the car's doing the driving, and I'm just sitting here. By the way, this is kind of my perspective, my view, as I'm in the Cybertruck. And look at that steering wheel just turning and doing its thing. Absolutely amazing. I love 14.1.7. It has gotten so good. Honestly, I would say it's as smooth as the version 14 in my Model Y Juniper, which is really saying something. This little green dot up here by the temperature shows you that it's on hands-free driving. And anyway, yeah, follow along. I'll update you here in a little bit as we get out on the interstate and get rolling. You know, it's funny how that works. You think you know better, and at the end of the day, Tesla navigation actually knew better than I did. And guess what? We're following the path. So we're on Interstate 81 South. We're going to stay on 81 South all the way to the Hard Rock. It's just 2 hours away, 134 miles. We've been driving for 19 minutes, 10 miles, 372 watt-hours per mile. Anxious to see the efficiency on this thing. I'm running on the original set of tires. It's got the core tires and wheels, which are the smaller, more efficient tires and wheels, and frankly, they're quieter and they ride smoother. This Cybertruck is louder than my Model Y, but let me tell you, it's way more comfortable. Now, I've heard they've added some sound dampening to the latest models. I need to test drive one of the newer Cybertrucks and check that out. I picked this one up in late 2024, in December 2024, and I've had it almost here. I've had it 11 months, almost 20,000 miles, as I mentioned, but it is so smooth, so comfortable. I absolutely love it. But the cabin isn't as quiet as the Model Y. Right now, we've got a Rivian R1T, a Mercedes EQS, a Model Y Juniper, and then this Cybertruck. And this is probably one of my favorite vehicles by far. It's smooth, comfortable, fairly quiet. Definitely not EQS quiet. Probably about the same noise level as the Rivian. But it is just immensely comfortable, and the suspension's amazing. And last but not least, the self-driving, it's ridiculously good, y'all. If you haven't experienced it, go take a demo drive, use my referral, do a demo drive, and check out FSD. Absolutely remarkably good. It's going to drive me the whole way there. I'm going to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the drive as we ride through the beautiful mountains here in Virginia. And this is a super, super nice scenic drive down 81. So I should get pretty good efficiency. And again, I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy the drive, and I'll keep you updated here as we go. All right, so 64 degrees out, 1:18 p.m. Been driving 39 miles, 424 watt-hours per mile, 44 minutes. A lot of traffic on 81, a lot of little construction. But wow, is it a beautiful drive here. As you look down through, there's a river we're crossing. I mean, it is really, really beautiful. Even though leaves are off the trees, you can just see nature in this area. It's really cool. It is showing 104 miles left, so only about an hour and a half left, but you can see traffic is just so heavy. We'll see how that goes. Going to arrive with around 39%. Super super good overall. Glad to be getting there, and looking forward to getting to Bristol. It's been a long week, a lot of running, a lot of meetings, and I've got meetings in Bristol, Virginia, meetings in Tennessee tomorrow, and then all the way down through to Mississippi meetings, and then on the way back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Sunday. It's late in the week here. It's before Thanksgiving, and hopefully traffic won't be as bad as we're driving, not necessarily all on the weekend, but it's going to be interesting. Holiday week travel is always challenging, but we'll see how it goes. We've got it spaced out pretty good. Unfortunately, I have meetings along the way. So today's a little over 2 hours, as you can see. Tomorrow's another hour and a half, 2 hours. And then roughly 6.5 hours the next day, and 6.5 hours the following day. So over 4 days making this trip. And the reason why it's spread out so long is because of the amount of meetings that I have throughout. So we will see how it goes. But the Tesla is doing a remarkable job handling all the traffic, driving for me as I just kind of relax and sit back and enjoy the drive. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, so roughly 1 hour out, 68 miles, going to arrive with about 40%, 428 watt hours per mile. Remember, lifetime on the vehicle, 426 watt hours per mile. So running a little higher than that, but we are running highway speeds. It has opened up some, although I will tell you, there's been a lot of traffic. Finally, it's opened up and we're running highway speeds, I should say. So much warmer now, 66 degrees out, about 10 degrees warmer, thank goodness. 1:52 p.m. Beautiful driving day. I've got 66% on the battery, and I am almost there. Love FSD, love the Cybertruck. It's doing a great job. And I'm watching this pickup and watching how secure everything is with the straps. And he's got it secured down pretty good. And I'm not seeing anything bounce around, but always keep an eye on cargo like that. Anyway, welcome to Virginia going into Tennessee, I guess. So on that note, I will update you here as we get to the Hard Rock. We're, again, just about an hour away, and you'll see just a tremendous drive down through the mountains, the valleys, and down 81. And by the way, Bristol is right on the Virginia-Tennessee line, so there's a Bristol, Virginia, and a Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol Motor Speedway's there, which is a NASCAR track, and we're staying at the Hard Rock Bristol, which is, again, right on the state line. Pretty cool, but the Hard Rock is on the Bristol, Virginia side, but you can basically walk across the state line. So pretty neat. So almost to Tennessee and almost out of Virginia, and again, it's warming up nicely, and looking forward to getting there. It's been a long day. Haven't had anything to eat yet today, so I'm going to get there, get checked in, and then go grab a late lunch here at the Hard Rock. So I'll be back with you momentarily. So I don't know if you can see off in the distance, there's a little runway right there. Let me try to zoom in for you. And you've got a plane right up here landing right on the other side of the highway. Pretty cool. See a little runway right there? Right over there. There goes the plane. It just successfully landed. Oh, it did a touchdown and a takeoff, it looks like to me. Back in the air it goes. Just a little single engine. Looks like 1 or 2 passenger. Just a little tiny private plane with a little private aviation amateur pilot. Pretty cool. So anyway, 2:02 p.m. just a few minutes later, but I wanted to share that. And scenic drive through the mountains here. Going to be there in just a few minutes. Glad to get there. Have improved the ETA slightly, showing 2:51 p.m. arrival now. And unfortunately, due to highway speeds, efficiency has decreased 443 watt hours per mile. I will update you here again shortly. Okay, so we are making great progress 2:20 p.m. 67 degrees out. See the air quality there too. That's a pretty cool feature. 52% on the battery currently. We've got 31 miles till the exit, number 1A, for Bristol, Virginia, for the Hard Rock. And you'll notice, by the way, we have driven 112 miles, 428 watt-hours per mile. Slightly higher than the lifetime of the vehicle, but it has been all highway miles for the most part. And that'll certainly use up more energy. Also, it's been a little chillier. It is warming up now. It's 67 degrees out. Looks like we're still going to arrive with about 40%. By the way, Tesla's state of charge upon arrival indicator has gotten to be very, very accurate in recent months, in the last year, really. That used to be a moving target, and it became difficult to trust. You can pretty well trust that now. They've used all the data. They've really gotten good at estimating that, and I find that it's pretty spot on. If anything, it tends to improve as the trip goes on. You can always lower your speed to improve that, but it is pretty good overall. So we're 28 minutes out, going to arrive with around 2:50 p.m. Let's take a look at the energy graph and see what it says about our consumption so far. So 42.7 consumed, 3.3% less than original projection. Staying below 70 miles an hour would have saved 3.8%. Wind cost, see the wind from the west, 4.3 mile per hour wind, costs 3.6%. And the route is typically driven at 70. Slow down by 5 miles per hour to save another 1.1%. So there you go. But honestly, you can see what saved it is my driving and the climate control. They were both better than expected. So I am using a little extra energy than expected on everything else because I've got my cooler down here staying cool to keep cooled refreshments and whatever here as we drive. So that's a really nice little cyber fridge that I use in the Cybertruck. 19,555 miles on this thing already. Honestly, it's not many miles for me in 11 months, but I've split my miles between multiple other vehicles. I had a Cadillac Lyriq at one point for about 6 months and other things. So anyway, glad to have the Cybertruck. Really, really enjoying it. And we will be there momentarily. This last few minutes will just happen quickly. So I will update you here as we're pulling into the Hard Rock. Okay, so we are almost here. 69 degrees out, almost 70 degrees, 2:42 p.m. Been driving for 138 miles, 2 hours and 8 minutes, 424 watt-hours per mile. So it actually turned out to be better than the lifetime of the vehicle. And we're going to arrive with around 41% in 5 miles, 6 minutes, getting off exit 1A in 3.8 miles. So, yeah, it's been a great little quick leg shooting over here to Bristol, Virginia. And we'll get checked in, get settled in, and then I've got to run to a meeting, a dinner meeting, and then take off and head over into eastern Tennessee, like I said, by the Knoxville, Tennessee area tomorrow. That's not a very far drive. I'm guessing maybe an hour and a half. And that'll be a quick one tomorrow. The Hard Rock in Bristol does have charging. Hopefully I can get plugged into one of those, get this thing juiced up, and then head out tomorrow and head across. So more info to follow, but yeah, so far this has been a good little leg. I'll try to update you as I'm pulling into the valet area at the Hard Rock in Bristol, Virginia. Okay, and we are just about to pull in, just exit off the highway, 421 watt-hours per mile, 143 miles. That is the trip for today. It did exceed the lifetime average of the vehicle, which is good. It's better efficiency, I should say. It is 68 degrees out here as we're getting ready to pull in, and it's just 0.3 of a mile right here up on the right. It's 2:46, so we're arriving at 2:47. Made really good time. Original ETA was closer to 3 o'clock, so that's good. And right here is the Hard Rock. We're going to turn right here. I'm going to let FSD do the job. You see it's kind of a tight turn. and it went right around the corner, and I am going to take over because we're going to go right up here to the left, and the valet parking is right here on the left. They've got a stop sign. I do not. The chargers are on the other side of the parking lot, so I'll run over there and plug in after we get the car unloaded with the valets. So I will be back with you potentially later today, but worst case tomorrow morning as we head on to Eastern Tennessee. Thanks for following along. This is going to be a fun one over several days, and I'll be back with you here shortly. Rainy morning here at the Hard Rock. It's 10:38 a.m. I'm just fixing this wall connector. Somebody unplugged it and didn't put it back where it's supposed to go. And notice these are the ones with the J1772. You push here, pull that out. Fantastic installation here at the Hard Rock. Here is the dirty Cybertruck heading to the Dandridge, Tennessee area. I'm going to stop in White Pine, Tennessee at the EVgo charger and get juiced up, even though I'm at 100%. 323 miles, originally rated for 325. Here's the trip so far back to DFW. 144 miles, 417 watt-hours per mile. It's 64 degrees out. Of course, it's rainy, as you can see. And we're going to kick FSD on. Let me pull up front, get the vehicle loaded up, and I'll be back with you. It's 10:39. Should be on the road probably by 10:50. And again, just have a very short drive today, about an hour and 15 minutes. Be stopping in roughly an hour to juice up somewhat because there are no chargers at the hotel, and the vehicle is going to be sitting overnight, and I have to run to some meetings. So it'll be best to have this thing pretty well topped up. So that's the plan. Here is the Hard Rock, nicely decorated Christmas tree here out front. And again, I'll be back with you here momentarily. Thanks for following along. Okay, so got the destination plugged in and preconditioning the battery already. 1 hour and 6 minutes away, 73 miles, and preconditioning because it's 63 degrees out. We're going to arrive with about 74%, so super high state of charge. We don't need to charge. I'm just going to stop there and we'll take a quick break, throw a little bit of juice in, and go from there. At least that's the plan. I'll think about it here. Let me take a look. From there then to the hotel is just 9 minutes. Arriving at the hotel with around 70%. You know what? I am not going to stop and charge. We're just probably going to go straight to the hotel because the running around we are doing is real close to the hotel, and I'm guessing I'll still be at 50+% in the morning and can get to the next charger no problem. So that's the plan for now. We'll see. I'll decide as I get going. I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, sorry I didn't get to record any other videos on this leg, but I've been on the phone the entire time. 74 miles, 480 watt-hours per mile. Tons of rain, tons of weather, terrible efficiency. And I've been preconditioning the entire time. But I landed here, I arrived here with 70%. I am at the Pilot Flying J EVgo. I've got my A to Z CCS adapter for the Cybertruck. And I'm going to go ahead and get plugged in. And by the way, I completely prefer the EV base adapter to this one. So if you're going to buy one, I would recommend you buy the EV base adapter. My discount code is BYTESLA, and the reason you have to buy this for the Cybertruck, this is a longer extended adapter because it will not fit the Cybertruck with the regular CCS1 adapter. So you have to buy a special Cybertruck adapter. Buy the one from EV Base if you need to buy one. I've had great success with it. This is just my spare. I didn't have the other one with me right now. So anyway, let me get plugged in. I'll show you what the chargers look like here, and we're gonna get some energy here real quick. And here you go. And let me get plugged in and I'll show you how quickly we charge. Okay, payment has been authorized. I'm on my free EVgo charging. I have until July of 2026. I had 2 years of free EVgo charging when I purchased my Cadillac Lyriq, which I got to keep. And so I plug in. It uses Auto Charge Plus based on the VIN number. Pretty easy. You can hear it's clicking and ramping up. You can see the light on the top change to green. You'll notice that one over there is blue. And remember, we're at 70%, so we're not going to see very fast charging. But we're popping up over 100 kilowatts and probably leveling out right there. So there you go, 100 kilowatts. I'm going to charge for a little bit, use the facilities. And I decided to stop here because we needed to use the restroom. So yeah, I'm going to throw a little bit of juice on and I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I'm just finished up charging. Just used the facilities, ready to go now. We're up to 86% already, added 16%. Still charging at 85 kilowatts. Again, not great. With the size battery in this truck and all, you know, another 30 minutes to go, 14% is kind of ridiculous. It should have better top charging. But, hey, we put on plenty of juice for this thing. Let me check how many kilowatts we put in. You can see here it says 20. Let's see what it says at the charger. And I'm going to get unplugged and get to the hotel. And we've been here 14 minutes, put on 22 kilowatt hours of energy. And we're at 84 kilowatts currently. Let's hit stop charging, end session, and the light will go white. All right, I'll get unplugged. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so here we are starting out 6:12 a.m. Hope to be on the road here by 6:15, 6:20. I'm moving the Cybertruck from the front of this Hampton Inn here in Dandridge, Tennessee, to the side of the building so we can get it loaded up. You'll see 42.2 miles since the last charge, 367 watt hours per mile. Overall in the DFW trip, 260 miles, 427 watt hours per mile. And I'm just pulling around here to this side door and I'm going to go ahead and get loaded up. I'll be back with you here shortly. I think I'm going to stop at the EVgo charger just west of Knoxville. I want to get through Knoxville before any type of rush hour traffic. And I imagine I can do that here and make it through there around 7. So let me get loaded and get on the road. Okay, so we are rolling right about 6:20, which is kind of what I figured, about 20 minutes later than expected. But hopefully we can beat the rush hour traffic for Knoxville. We'll be hitting Knoxville probably right around 7 o'clock, so not ideal. We'll see how that plays out. But anyway, if I go to the EVgo in Gordonsville, which is right before Nashville, it's 160 miles. Remember, I'm starting out with 66% on the battery, and if I click that, you'll see 213 miles. Here's the problem. In reality, I'm only on 159 miles. I should be able to make that. We're going to just play with it for a while. There is an EVgo in Knoxville, Watt Road. Of course, there's Tesla superchargers. There's a lot of options, but we'll see how the efficiency adjusts as I get out on the road and get riding, and then we'll kind of go from there. So just about to jump on the interstate here. And I should have FSD on because I frankly don't know exactly where I'm going. Okay, I'm jumping on 40 west and okay, saying stay below 63 miles an hour to reach the destination above 10%. So you can see by slowing speed down, you can easily make a charger that you wouldn't make otherwise. I'm going to go ahead and let this play out for a bit. We'll see how it goes. This should be a fun one. If we can make it all the way, it's only 2 hours and it would save a stop, but and we would get maximum charging speeds. But let's see what happens, and I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Here is the Buc-ee's in Tennessee, Sevierville. There are a couple of them. There's one in Crossville, one in Sevierville. This is a Sevierville one on I-40, and as always for Buc-ee's, I can tell it is packed over there. There is charging. I think they have at that one both Mercedes charging, CCS, Mercedes cabinets, and Tesla supercharger. And yes, I've charged there. I try to avoid Buc-ee's on road trips because, candidly, they add a lot of time. Now, early AM like this wouldn't be a big deal, But if you arrive there during the day, especially the ones up north, not the ones in Texas, you can add 20 minutes to your trip just getting in and out of Buc-ee's parking lot. It is crazy, crazy busy. So right now it's showing we're going to arrive with 1%. I'm just waiting to see what happens with efficiency and how it thinks we'll do, whether I stop at the Knoxville charger and throw a little bit of juice on. I'll make that decision here in the next few minutes. 415 watt hours per mile so far, starting out pretty good. It is 66 degrees, kind of a nice moderate weather day. Happy to be back further south and enjoying that. And let's see, we're 12 minutes in, 11.5 miles, so making good progress so far. Only 2 hours away. I'd like to make it to that one, but I really don't want to use a supercharger. I want to use my free EVgo stuff, so I might stop and do a quick top up here in Knoxville for 5 or so minutes. It's right off the exit. It's an easy one, and so I'm going to decide that in the next 5 minutes, and I'll let you know what I decide. Okay, so the decision is made. After some consideration, I decided I am going to stop at a Tesla supercharger, and here's why. I'm going to stop just for a quick splash. It's at a winery in Crossville, Tennessee, right across from Buc-ee's. It was the original supercharger off that exit before Buc-ee's opened. It's only an hour from now. It'll be outside of Knoxville. You know, stopping at that Pilot Flying J Knoxville can be pretty busy when we're going to be in rush hour time frame. I just want to get clear of Knoxville. We'll stop there, quickly do a top up, and then head on. It's maybe an hour from there to the Pilot Flying J charger. So that's my plan right now. I'll look at it more closely once we get to Crossville and I get plugged in. It'll depend if we need more time than that. I may end up being there longer. So let's see how it plays out. But for right now, that's my intention. That's the plan. And we're going to hit this Crossville charger, arriving around 23%. I'm able to pick up the pace a little bit and run more at highway speeds. I was running in chill, and it was running a little slower. I mean, I'll gain some minutes that way. I'll make that time up anyway. And I just don't want to run. If I was by myself traveling, I would run in with 0% every day of the week. No problem, done it many times. But when you're traveling with other people, the consideration is, what if the chargers are full? What if there's something wrong with them? Whatever. It's not worth the risk when you have passengers with you. And I've got all kinds of precious cargo. So 19,720 miles on this Cybertruck. We're going to cross 20,000 miles today, and it's been a great vehicle. I'll tell you more about it at that time. But yeah, this has been a good start so far this morning. So I'm going to sit back, relax, let FSD do the driving, and I will be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, we are passing through the Knoxville area now. So far, traffic is open. It is 6:48, so made it to Knoxville fairly quickly. So I'm hopeful that we get on the other side of it before we see any traffic, or we don't see any traffic, I guess I'm more hopeful for. Efficiency, now that we picked up the speed, worse than lifetime of the vehicle, but remember, we're just starting out this morning. 460 watt hours per mile. We've driven about 31 miles, 28 minutes, and here's part of downtown Knoxville, right on the outskirts, and we may be smooth sailing. We'll see here in just a little bit. So far, so good. So anyway, we're going to keep riding along. About an hour till the first stop, where we're just going to do a quick splash. Maybe be there 5 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, thankfully we made it through, and now we are on the other side. We've got 53 minutes to the charger, arriving with 23%, 455 watt hours per mile. Still 66 degrees out at 6:55 a.m. Overall, it's been smooth and uneventful. I'm glad we left early. We missed traffic here. We should hit Nashville after rush hour, hopefully. My plan was to do a quick top up here and then stop at the Pilot Flying J in Gordonsville EVgo charger that's right before Nashville, and go ahead and top up. And then that should put us in the Nashville area probably around 9:30, which hopefully till then things have lightened up. It is a Saturday morning, shouldn't be as bad anyway, and we get passed through there. Then the next city area we'll hit will be Memphis several hours later, and then this evening we're staying in Tunica, Mississippi at the Horseshoe. Got some meetings there, and then back to Dallas-Fort Worth the next night. So yeah, should be a pretty easy drive today. Fairly short one, depending on traffic, 6.5, 7 hours, and plus charging. So hopefully getting into the hotel early afternoon, and we will flip over to Central Time Zone. So that's exciting. So that'll save us an hour, or feel like it saves us an hour today. So anyway, follow along. This is going to be a fun one. Yeah, actually hitting a Tesla supercharger today for a little bit of a splash. I'll be back with you shortly. Check out that beautiful view. Crossing over the mountains here as we head closer to Nashville in the middle of Tennessee. Absolutely beautiful drive. Just went through a pretty heavy rainstorm, and it was actually, it became dark out again. I mean, the lights were on along the highway and everything. Now, all of a sudden, we poke up over the ridge of this mountain, the crest of this mountain, and you've got these beautiful views. The sun's starting to come up. Looks like it's going to be a great day. We have driven so far today 78 miles, an hour and 8 minutes, making decent time, 481 watt hours per mile. Not great consumption, but we are preconditioning. We're only 19 minutes out from that supercharger in Crossville. There's 8 stalls, 250 kilowatts. The Buc-ee's one has at least a dozen, if not 20 some chargers, but right across the street. I prefer this one at the little winery. All we need to do is throw a little bit of juice on to get to the next charger. And I'm going to look at that and decide. I want to check the EVgo app. Is the charger working? Is it available? And how far away are we? Or do I put enough juice on to get past Nashville and just trek through that city? So we'll see. Also, it depends if we need to walk around or stretch our legs or whatever. We've only been driving for a little over an hour, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but we'll certainly see when we get there. One thing about the Tesla superchargers is they just work. I'll back in, plug in, and it'll charge. That's the nice thing with those versus the EVgos and the other CCS type chargers. Now, Iona, really, really good stations. I hope they get plug-in charge established with Tesla. You can use your ChargePoint RFID card or your ChargePoint account, but at the end of the day, the credit card does the same thing. It's no membership pricing or anything crazy. They just have good pricing. I mean, they're Tesla level charging pricing, and frankly, I think it's time all of these different companies got rid of these charging plans and just offer good prices. They're going to get to the point where people won't pay those anymore. If they're going to just charge at an Iona or whatever because it's low price. So the Mercedes network, I think, has done similar things and gotten their prices lower. Hopefully Walmart, as they expand their network, they'll do the same thing. So it's going to be changing here. Keep in mind, anyone out there with an EV, or if you're watching us thinking about getting one, we're early adopters. I mean, it is early on in the transition in the U.S., and nearly every vehicle on the highway is gas, diesel, whatever, and a lot of the country simply does not believe in the EV situation. Once they drive one and actually experience one, and I get asked every day that I'm driving, the very first thing is how many miles you get. Number 2 is how long does it take to charge, and they think they don't get but 100 miles and that they take hours to charge when you're on a road trip. None of that's true. So you'll see, I mean, there it's recommending an 11-minute stop. I mean, that's not that long. 11 minutes is super quick. The average gas station stop, I think they said, is 7 or 8 minutes total, which includes sometimes you go inside, use the restroom, whatever. It only takes a couple of minutes to fill up if the pumps are working, at full speed, which they normally are. But then till you pull off to the side, use the restroom, whatever you've got to do, go get a refreshment, the average stop is something like 7 or 8 minutes. So when we can get charging times sub 10 minutes for a full charge, or for 10 to 80, whatever, I think people will be very happy with that. And that's coming. There's no question. So right now I would equate EV charging speeds kind of like dial-up internet. Dial-up internet was so slow, you would just watch that downloading bar as you downloaded an app, a video, anything. Y'all remember that? It would just downloading bar on the screen. That's what charging is like right now. Really slow bar on the screen. That's going to change, and it'll be like high-speed fiber internet, where it's pretty much instant downloading stuff. Super quick. That bar just slides. Charging will be the same way. It'll just be a fill-up like at a gas station. And charging will be widely available. I also think people will learn that you don't have to charge on the road most of the time. You'll just charge at home. And, having your car full every day is a massive advantage to having an electric vehicle. So right now, I would not recommend one to anyone that does not have some type of charging situation at home. Because if you have to go sit at a DC fast charger every week and wait, 30 minutes or whatever to get a partial charge, and that's ridiculous. I wouldn't do it, and I don't think most people would want to. So that would cause you to go away from an electric vehicle. Also, the poor charging infrastructure we've had the last few years has probably turned a lot of people off that bought CCS cars, like anything other than a Tesla. A lot of that charging has been terrible. I mean, Electrify America was just awful, awful, awful. It's getting better, and I think Iona is going to be a game changer for charging. So anyway, that's just some of my thoughts. We are a little cooler now as we've ventured into the mountains, and you'll see where they just cut through the mountains to create this road. It is 61 degrees out, 7:33 a.m. Looks like it may end up being a beautiful day. Let's hope for that. And we've only got 13 minutes now to the charger, so 490 watt-hours per mile as we're climbing the hill. That'll improve as we get to the charger. We are still preconditioning off and on, headed there, and I will update you as soon as we get plugged in. Okay, we're just about to get off of the exit for Crossville. Camera visibility limited. Looks like it's the front and rear cameras. I'm going to wipe those off quick when we stop. And let's take a look at our stats. 489, so 490 watt-hours per mile. High consumption. Getting off the exit. Buc-ee's is over there to the left. We're going to avoid that. And you can see here to the right, it looks congested, but we should be okay. And we're just charging right over here. Real quick, easy stop. So this is typically a pretty good one. Easy in, easy out, and just a real quick charger. And I love that it's not at Buc-ee's. Anyway, it's 6:44 a.m. We've been driving now for an hour and 24 minutes and a total of 98 miles. By the way, the left lane hugging issue that the Cybertruck had with FSD 13 is gone in FSD 14. I'm very thankful for that. But right here we are, just turning into this driveway. You see a sign, no semis. And let's just see how FSD does. Here's the superchargers. See if it backs us into one of them. Take over immediately. It can't see because of that dirty camera issue, so we turn the turn signal off. That's pretty funny. And we'll get back in here. So apparently it was the rear camera that's so dirty. No big deal. We'll get backed in, we'll get plugged in and juiced up. Nice thing with the Tesla chargers, I can do this all one-handed, super easy. And let me just show you what that looks like. And there's your quick stats, 98 miles, 483 watt hours per mile, an hour and 25 minutes. We're sitting at 25%. Here it clicking, flashing blue, flashing green, we're charging. Let's watch it ramp up here in the truck for a minute. And right, here we go. You'll notice it does not ramp up as fast as those EVgo CCS chargers. However, it starts charging almost immediately, so it's probably about the same. Those things just spool up. They shoot straight up. It's pretty cool. But also, those are charging this car on 800 volt, whereas this is charging it on 400 volt. Different charging voltages, but even then, on a 400 volt Model Y, they ramp right up. So right here, we're pulling 154 kilowatts. And for those that watch miles, you can see how many miles of charging per hour you're getting right there. I kind of ignore that and I focus on kilowatts. Should be over 200 now. There we go. These will max out around 250, and it should pull close to 250 at 26%. And there we go, 255 at 27%. I'm gonna let it juice for a little bit, and I will be back with you here in a moment. All right, I gotta show you this charging screen. Look what Tesla's done on some of the latest software. I mean, it shows a graphic of the actual Tesla charger putting juice in. I mean, they are unreal. This stuff's crazy good. And it shows the two doors open that are open. It's just so good. Anyway, let me clean the cameras off. I'm gonna wipe the wiper off. I had replaced the wiper blade here at, the 20,000 miles, and I'm getting a lot of streaking. I don't know if it has some residue on it or whatever, but I'm gonna wipe it off, clean the cameras off, and then get ready to go. We'll be out of here shortly. Gotta walk the dogs for a minute, and anyway, you can see we can go to the next supercharger with 11%. Let me check EVgo, let me check things out. We're still pulling 246 kilowatts at 32%. Let's let this thing juice, and I'll be back with you. And by the way, it shows a CCS charger when we charge it, EVgo or whatever, and I'll show you that next. Be back with you shortly. Okay, we've been here just a few minutes charging. Let's take a look here. We've put on about 27 kilowatt hours of energy, 33 cents a kilowatt hour. So far, we spent about $9 to stop. Pulled in with about 25%. We're at 46% now. It wants me to charge for 2 more minutes in order to make the next supercharger, because it doesn't understand I'm actually charging at the Pilot electric vehicle charging station. So it says I'll get to the Nashville charger with 14%. Now, let's take a look and see how many superchargers are between here and there. So we're at this one. That's the Pilot. So there's a Mount Juliet charger right here that's always a bailout option if for some reason the EVgo doesn't work. So we're going to unplug, hit the road, and I would never stop at the one in downtown Nashville anyway. So let's hit the road and get back to it, and we'll be stopping here within the hour at this Pilot Flying J. It looks like it's 54 minutes away, 61 miles, and there we go. Have enough energy. Let's go. Very easy with the Tesla chargers. Hit the button, it'll go white, unplug, stick it right up here, charging flap closes, jump in the vehicle and roll. Love it. Be back with you here shortly. Okay, we are 24 miles out, 23 miles from the exit. It just popped up preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So I am 37 miles into this drive, 410 watt hours per mile. 64 degrees out, 7:27 a.m. The weather's clearing up. Hopefully we're not driving through rain all day like we did yesterday. we'll kind of see what happens. But yeah, the roads are drying off now, and there are clouds ahead. We'll see how the day goes. I haven't really looked at the weather throughout. Now, usually we'll show you weather at destination, but if I click here, there we go, destination. So it just shows partly cloudy there now, 2% chance of rain. So, and that's, you know, in Tunica, Mississippi, where we're headed. So yeah, that's good. By the way, following Tesla's route guidance, it would want me to stop for 16 minutes in Nashville, 22 minutes in Watersville, and then be there at Tunica. We're going to hit some EVgo chargers. We'll kind of see how that goes. This Watersville is a decent newer charger right off the interstate, excuse me. And it's a 325 kilowatt charger, version 3 plus, basically. It's version 4 dispensers, version 3 cabinets. And the Cybertruck will charge at 325 kilowatts for a while at that one. So, you know, I may hit that. This is quite a ways. This one on Sand Pebble Drive. I think that is in Jackson, Tennessee. We'll see how it works out. I'm going to get to this place, plug in, and then we'll check it out from there. I'll be back with you here in just a bit. Okay, about 10 minutes out, still preconditioning, and got into some really, really cloudy weather. No rain yet, but you can tell it rained recently here. And 401 watt hours per mile. Pretty good efficiency on this leg, running along at highway speeds. 52 miles and burn about 21 kilowatt hours of energy. And you can see overall in the DFW trip, 410 miles, 438 watt hours per mile. Higher than the lifetime of the car, but honestly not terrible for a vehicle this big and this heavy. I'm pretty pleased with that overall. This thing does great on the highway. So far, it's been a good road tripper. I just wish it would hold a higher charging rate longer and higher into the battery pack state of charge. In other words, I wish it would pull close to 200 kilowatts up to about 80%. It would make a charging session incredibly quick, and frankly in 2025 headed into 2026, that's what we should be seeing. So we'll see what happens with Tesla charging, but I have a feeling they're going to be making some improvements with their vehicles. I have a feeling they'll be switching the Model X and S to 800 volt. I think we'll see some updates coming, or they're going to have to discontinue those cars if not, because they're just not competitive anymore. I mean, you can buy a Lucid Gravity now for $80,000 that charges way faster, has more space, is on an 800 volt architecture, got way more range than a Model X. The Model X is about 20,000 more, and yes, it includes FSD, and yes, it includes free supercharging, but the price is way too high, and it's nowhere near as luxurious as a Gravity. Now, personally, we were going to order a Gravity. We absolutely loved the vehicle when I sat in and checked it out, and then I drove it, and it was absolutely horrible. Rattles, steering wheel column creaks, they couldn't get the key fob to work, a lot of software issues. The car was not ready to be driven. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. I may go drive one again in 6 months and test them, and maybe they'll get better. I would think they would if they're going to stay in business, because that was awful. But anyhow, if you just look at the data, it's a much better vehicle for a much, much lower price. So I think Tesla's got some work to do for sure. And we'll kind of see how all that plays out and what's going to happen with the future of their vehicles and their charging and etc. So anyway, I'll be back with you momentarily here as we get off the exit. There's the screen flickering, and it's just the rear screen. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, just getting off the exit right now for this Pilot Flying J. And the plan is we're going to plug in, get some juice, and while we're there, I'm going to figure out where we go next. I've charged at this one many times. It's right off the exit, usually pretty convenient. I've had good success with the charging there overall, so let's see how it goes. Just waiting for the light to change, and there we go. It just changed green. And now we're going right up to this next light, and you'll see the chargers are right up here on the right. So I'm going to turn in the first entrance, not the last entrance that it's suggesting. So I'll take over here in just a sec. And there's nobody here charging, which is good. I can get plugged right in, and we can get this thing juiced up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull over to the other charger, and I'm going to tell you why. If you look at the top of these chargers, that one's green. That means it thinks it's charging. This one's blue, means it doesn't think it's charging. See, glitches with CCS chargers. It's not uncommon. So, we get a little bit of experience. You kind of learn some of these things. So, let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, payment has been authorized, and checking cable safety. We're all plugged in. Actually, this is my EV base CCS adapter for the Cybertruck, and should be charging here in just a second. Let's jump inside the vehicle and check it out. Starting to charge, it says. We're at 27%. This last leg, 61 miles, 408 watt-hours per mile, and you'll see this will jump up pretty fast, unlike the Tesla chargers. So there we're up to 126, 179, 235, 277, 311, 321. And these will go up right around 350, but I'm at a higher state of charge. So I'm pulling 320 kilowatts at 27%, which is good. Hour and 10 minutes fully charged. We're not going to do that. Let me go use the facilities and get organized, and I'll report back to you here shortly. We started charging at 7:49. It's 7:50 now, so we'll take on a lot of energy quickly here. So been charging for 10 minutes exactly, from 7:49 to 7:59. Put on 30 kilowatt hours of energy, but it's down to 148, 147 kilowatts at 51%, and that's the problem. It's tapering off too fast. The low in the pack charging is fine to me, up to 50%. After that, this thing doesn't charge that well, in my opinion. And, you know, if I want to go 173 miles to the next EVgo charger, it wants me to put on another, 17+% on the battery. We'll see what happens. My wife just went in to do a few things, and we'll see how long she is. This keeps dropping. I may make it there. I may stop at a Tesla charger along the way. We'll figure it out, but I did want to show you what the CCS chargers look like. Look at that. That is just cool, huh? Just great job, Tesla, with the graphics and the integration. I mean, this is just really, really cool. So, anyhow, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, just arrived here in Nashville, Charlotte Pike. Gonna get plugged in. These are the V3 Pluses. We're gonna throw a little juice on the vehicle. Sorry, busy on the phone this last leg. 58 miles, 424 watt-hours per mile. Over there's the other V3s, but I'm gonna try to plug in here, just simply due to the speeds, because these will charge up to 325 kilowatts on the Cybertruck. And there we go, flashing green already. Let's take a look. And of course, I'm not going to get those max charging speeds at this percentage. But I'm at 40%. We're ramping up slowly. 9:03 a.m., 64 degrees. I'm just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Decided to stop here and do a quick splash in order to make it to Splash and Dash. Quick fuel stop in order to make it to this Jackson, Tennessee. Right now, if we leave, we'll get there with -6%. So we just need a little bit of juice in the pack. We're up to 139 kilowatts and climbing. 148. See how slow these ramp up compared to the EV goes? 172. 184. 186. Should level out right around 200 kilowatts. And I do think it's leveling out. We're right now right at 200 kilowatts. So, okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. So once again, we've got the pretty cool graphic on the screen, but it does show the older V3 dispensers, not the newer V4 cabinets. Even though I'm plugged into a V4, still pulling 175 kilowatts at 46%, which is just fine. We're going to use the facilities here. We're going to be here longer than needed for sure. But, yeah, just going to get some quick juice. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, here are the chargers. Nashville, Charlotte Pike. It's like 24 chargers. A bunch of new V4s. And behind me, we've got the Target. Pretty good amenities at this one, other than the fact that Target is only open certain hours. This is a great stop. Right off the highway, you got both V3s with Magic Dock and V4s. Really a good location. And we've got multiple non-Tesla EVs charging here too, so glad to see it. Anyway, let me get back in, hit the road, and I'll update you on the next stop. Okay. Been here 22 minutes, 74%, put on 42 kilowatt hours. Not great, but that's what we needed. We just finished using facilities. 92 kilowatts currently at 74%. I'm going to go ahead and get unplugged and get back on the road. Next stop is Jackson, Tennessee, the EV Go charger in 117 miles an hour in 42 minutes. Should arrive with around 29%. Plenty of juice. Let's get unplugged. And get back on the road. Okay, and we are off. Let's take a look at that cost of that charging session. That's nice with the integration, $15.13. And there's all the nerdy details. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, it's definitely cleared up. Beautiful driving day, 65 degrees out. Got some blue skies with some clouds. So far on the DFW trip, 492 miles, 437 watt hours per mile. And on this leg, 14.9 miles, so 15 miles, 14 minutes, and 483 watt hours per mile. High consumption, but we just came off of a DC fast charger. Now, I can actually skip this next stop if I choose to. It's about an hour and a half away, just over 100 miles, and go right to Memphis. I need to specifically stop at that charger. I plugged that one in manually because they've got some stores right there, and we need to use one of those stores. So I've plugged that in as my last charging stop of the day, intentionally. So, and that's about an hour from the hotel, that last charging stop. So, you know, I could skip this next one and just do one more, but I think to make this trip a little easier and to space it out, we're going to make 2 more stops and then the final. So, as of right now, I'm headed to the Pilot Flying J EV Go charging station in Jackson, Tennessee. And like I said, we'll be there in about an hour and a half, give or take. And yeah, so far it's been a good drive. I did have FSD shut down just a few minutes ago. It put the red steering wheel up, turned the 4-ways on. It said take control immediately. And the whole screen essentially rebooted. It lost all visualizations. It lost everything on the map. Took a minute or two, rebooted. I've never had that happen. So that's some type of software glitch. And I'm on 14.1.7. We've got some type of glitch that caused that. But then as soon as the software came back up, I was able to touch the screen and start self-driving again, and it took right back over. So it's essentially like the software rebooted itself. Kind of weird. But all in all, it's been very good overall for the entire trip. Both driving up to Roanoke, Virginia in the Model Y Juniper, and you can see that video on my channel, or driving back to Dallas-Fort Worth in the Cybertruck. Anyway, we're going to hit the 20,000 mile mark before this next charger, so I'll give you my 20,000 mile feedback. And 11 months, 20,000 miles. Anyway, I'll be back with you here shortly. So we may skip this next EVgo charger and go directly to the charger we need to stop at anyway, which there is an Electrify America there. There's also the Tesla Supercharger at Memphis, North Germantown Parkway, but there's a Target there, there's a bunch of other stores, and we need to hit a couple of those stores before we go on then to the hotel. And at that point, we're only about an hour from the hotel, so I think I'm just going to go there, juice up. Now, the Horseshoe in Tunica does have charging, and it's Autel, and it's pay to charge, so they're normally not occupied, but I can't 100% count on that, so I'll probably charge longer than 15 minutes, plus we're have to go in the stores, so I imagine we'll be there 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll have plenty of juice to get to the Horseshoe. So that's the plan right now. Should hit the Horseshoe, I'm guessing, around 1:30 today. Pretty short day, but we started early. So, and keep in mind, we're on Central Time now, and but yeah, only a few hours to go. Pretty easy ride. We've got 155 miles for this leg, 2 hours and 13 minutes. Been driving for 26 minutes, 453 watt-hours a mile, and 29 miles. So, yeah, so far it is going well. And as it's cleared up weather-wise, it started out only 1% to this charger, and now it's bumped up to 9%. I thought, you know what, we can skip. Even though I would save a little bit of money by stopping at the EVgo charger, it adds time and stopping and whatever. We'll just skip that and throw some juice on at the Tesla charger and ride on. So that's the plan for now. I will keep you updated if it changes, but looking forward to getting to the next stop. Okay, so we are making good progress, 425 watt-hours per mile. For the last 49 minutes, 58 miles, so it's going well. Going to arrive with around 8% now. 127 miles, an hour and 49 minutes, showing 12:03 p.m. as my ETA. We're all the way on I-40 to exit 16B, which is that Memphis North Germantown Parkway's Tesla Supercharger that I need to go to. So, yeah, it's been good. Weather's been pretty clear. Hopefully that maintains. And yeah, it's a great driving day. Nice and warm out, 69 degrees. I've got 53% on the battery currently. And FSD continues to do the driving for me as I just ride along. Anyway, thanks for following along. I mentioned earlier in the video, but if you've watched this far, number one, let me know. But number two, click like, click subscribe, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. I do enjoy and appreciate all feedback. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a little bit. Okay, so here we are, 20,000 miles on the Tesla dual motor all-wheel drive Cybertruck. I am in Tennessee right now, about to enter into Memphis, Tennessee, and you'll see I'm at 19,999 miles. Now, as we're talking, it'll flip over to 20,000 miles, but this vehicle, lifetime 426.7 watt-hours per mile. Pretty efficient for a vehicle this big that's been about 90% road trips. I'm headed across the country right now. I'm using full self-driving, and by the way, there we go, 20,000 miles. We just flipped over. So I'm using full self-driving software 14.1.7. This thing has been driving me, and I wanted to kind of give you my 11-month, 20,000 mile review. So I waited about a year after the Cybertruck came out to get one. And the reason why is, in my opinion, the Foundation Series was overpriced by $20,000. And it was. It came with some accessories, whatever, but it dropped in value tremendously because you basically lost $20,000 to be an early buyer. I was offered one because I have Tesla stock, and I declined the order and waited until the regular version released, and then I waited until there were some promotions towards the end of the year, and that's why I purchased it in December of 2024. I ended up getting it for around $77,000. It's a dual motor, all-wheel drive, and I'm very happy with it overall. It has some of the improvements that were put in place since the truck started production. Overall, I've had very few issues with it. It's been in Tesla service a couple of times for minor adjustments, fit and finish stuff. They did have to replace my tailgate. There was something wrong with the tailgate. But all in all, it was taken care of. I've had no maintenance expense other than I just purchased a replacement wiper blade. I've put washer fluid in it. I'm running on the original tires. I am running the core tires and wheels. And the vehicle has done nothing but improve since I purchased it. Tesla software and their ecosystem is amazing. The phone key is amazing. The vehicle is very, very comfortable in cross-country road trips. I've driven it across the country multiple times. I've had it all the way from California to Virginia and back. It has done a tremendous job. It charges fairly well. Up to 50%, it charges very, very quickly. Then it starts tapering off. The charging curve after 50% could be better. It could take a higher charging rate for longer and deeper into the charging session. It would make it a faster road tripper. But all in all, it does a good job. And I love the versatility of the fact that I can use both the CCS network and the Tesla charging network. Now, I have a CCS adapter, and you have to get a special one for the Cybertruck. It has to have a longer adapter because of the way the Cybertruck charging port is designed in the fender. So it takes a different CCS adapter. You can buy one from multiple vendors. I recommend the one at EV Base. And by the way, if you need to purchase a Tesla or you're looking to buy one, there's a link in the description of my video, as well as discount codes for EV Base and other vendors. The only key accessories I added that I really, really like are the running boards from EV Base and that CCS1 adapter. The window tint, I used Expel, 15% up front, 70% in the back. All in all, the vehicle, I haven't made a ton of upgrades. I am using floor mats from 3D Mats, but I'm going to be testing 3W Mats. Sent me a set of theirs, and I want to put those in the Cybertruck because I really, really like the 3W floor mats in my Model Y. So we're going to stick a set in the Cybertruck and check those out. This truck has been an amazing vehicle, and I'll tell you the biggest change has been the full self-driving. When I first got it, and it does not have autopilot. It doesn't have basic autopilot, which has kind of been strange for me. When I first got it, it didn't have self-driving, and then one of the updates I got that, and since then, the self-driving has not been great. Not confident at all. It would hug the left line of the highway. It would sit all the way over on that left edge, and sometimes run off onto the rumble strip. About a week ago, I'm going to say roughly a week ago, I got the update 14.1.7, and it is phenomenally good, buttery smooth overall, and almost human-like in its driving behavior. It's not the quietest vehicle on the road, but it's quieter than most pickups, but I do get some wind noise. Now, I drove one of the newer ones when mine had gone in for service for something, and I noticed it was quieter. I did hear they put some additional noise dampening in the Cybertruck, so maybe a new one would be slightly quieter, but the interior space is incredible. You know, I'm 6'5", 325 pounds, give or take, and this thing is smooth, comfortable, and tons of space. I am very comfortable in this car on long road trips, so this is one of my preferred cross-country road trip vehicles just because of the space, the practicality, the excellent Tesla charging network. This vehicle charges on both 400 volt and 800 volt, meaning I can plug into a CCS charger and this will charge up to 500 kilowatts. I've seen speeds up to 350 kilowatts. I need to plug it into an Iona station and see if I can get 400 kilowatts on one of those. The problem with 500 kilowatts is nobody really has those yet. They'll be coming, but this will charge up to 325 kilowatts on certain Tesla superchargers that have the V4 dispensers and the V3 cabinets, and they're set up properly. I can actually charge 325 kilowatts. Matter of fact, I've done that already today. You may just be watching my 20,000 mile quick short review and feedback, or you might be watching my road trip right now all the way from Roanoke, Virginia to Dallas Fort Worth. And if you are, you've seen this thing charges very, very well. Again, up to about 50%, and then it drops below 150 kilowatts, and it needs to hold faster charging longer, and I just don't think the battery pack is currently capable of it. So maybe a future upgrade to the Cybertruck will be able to do that, and we can really see fast charging. Tesla, in my opinion, is falling a little behind on charging compared to some of their competitors, and I have a feeling that they'll catch up, that they're going to make some serious improvements in charging speeds on their cars here in coming months and years. Anyway, would I do it again? Yeah, absolutely. This truck's fantastic. What a great, great vehicle. I love the bed with the vault cover. It's very safe and secure. We're able to haul a ton of stuff when I'm on a road trip. And, I mean, that's really the biggest summary. No major complaints on it all. Probably the biggest negative has been it's been a polarizing vehicle, which I didn't buy this vehicle. I don't buy any vehicles for any type of political reasons. And when I bought it, the political climate was different than after I owned it. It changed, and now it's kind of changing the other way. All of that stuff is nonsense and noise. And, you know, I spent my own hard-earned money on whatever vehicle I choose to drive. Politics have nothing to do with it. I could care less about that. That's ridiculous to me. But that has certainly been a theme. So I think this became a symbol of really polarizing, and that certainly, in my opinion, really hurt the sales. However, if you go drive one of these with the four-wheel steering, the drive-by-wire, the air ride suspension, this thing will turn on a dime. It turns quicker than most cars, shorter turning radius, smaller turning radius. The drive-by-wire makes it so smooth to drive. And then the air ride suspension, it just soaks up the bumps. This thing is really, truly a great vehicle. Would I recommend one? Yes. If you can afford it, go drive one of these. This is probably one of the nicest electric vehicles out there right now. And the fact that it's on the Tesla network makes it even better. It could have more range. It could have more versatility. But real world, this thing will get roughly 300 miles on a charge. It's pretty good. So I do like the display. It's got a larger display right now, I believe, than any of the Teslas, and super clear resolution. Now, the new Model Y Performance that was just released has a screen that's about 1 inch bigger than the current Model Y, and clearer resolution on par with the Cybertruck screen. This screen is really, really good. I've had, again, next to no issues with it. It's been a good vehicle overall. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me a message. I'll be happy to help or give you some advice. But I'm going to continue my journey now. I've got another 91 miles to go, and on this leg, 418 watt-hours per mile. Pretty efficient here overall in the Cybertruck. I've been driving 570 miles back to Dallas-Fort Worth, 433 watt-hours per mile. So, yeah, and look at it. I mean, it's changing lanes by itself. There's not a lot of vehicles that can drive you across the country. The Cybertruck can, so hopefully that helps you. Have a good day, everyone. Okay, here is another trip update. 130 miles on this leg, an hour and 48 minutes, 423 watt-hours per mile. Making good progress overall. Going to get there around 12:02 now, arriving with about 7%. We have picked up a little bit of speed here. We're running at highway speeds, riding across I-40. Jumping off the exit in 53 miles, and it's not far off the exit. Charged at this one many times, and it is exit 16B. It is 69 degrees out, 11:14 a.m., and thanks for following along. We've got 27% on the battery currently, and let me just dial the speed control back here. We just flipped it back to chill by scrolling down the scroll wheel. You'll see it says chill right up there, and you'll notice that the car reduce speed dramatically. I mean, we're in a 60-mile-an-hour work zone, and it's managing it accordingly. So now we're back on standard. Anyway, looking forward to getting there to the charger, doing one last juice up for the day, and then headed on to the Horseshoe and Tunica for the evening. Okay, we are almost there. 164 miles on this leg, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Going to arrive with around 8%, 420 watt hours per mile. That's brought the overall DFW trip down to 432 watt hours per mile, close to the lifetime of the vehicle. This will be our last charging stop of the day. It is the Memphis Supercharger on, let's take a look, North Germantown Parkway. And then Horseshoe Tunica next. So we've got 15% on the battery now. Going to arrive with about 8% and plug in and juice up. Should see 250 kilowatts for a little while. Unfortunately, this is not one that's capable of 3 1/4, and it's not an EVgo where I would see 350 kilowatts. And most I've seen on those, I believe, is around 348 on this truck. One second, let me get past that truck. There was a car beside me, I couldn't merge. Anyway, it turned into a beautiful day. It's 71 degrees out, 11:43 a.m., and let's hope the rain holds off until we get there and get checked in. I'll have to do an early check-in and then get ready for a couple of meetings. But yeah, this has been a good leg, actually. Really have enjoyed this little stretch, and pretty easy drive today. 643 miles on the DFW trip, 432 watt hours per mile. So stay with me. By the way, I connected to Wi-Fi on my phone because there is a software update, navigation data update, and it looks like it'll be done downloading probably by the time we make it to the Horseshoe and Tunica. If not, it'll finish updating tomorrow. So. But it is connected to my hotspot on my phone. You'll see the little Wi-Fi icon right up there. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you here in just a bit. Okay, so 183 miles on this leg, 417 watt hours per mile, 2 hours and 32 minutes. Pulling in, right now we are at 8% on the battery. It says we'll arrive with 8%. And it's not far off the exit, but this is a busy area. It is Saturday, so it won't be as bad as typically during the week, but we're going to turn right here, and then if I recall, we turn left down into the plaza where the shops. There's an Electrify America charger, as well as the Tesla Supercharger, and we've just got a lot of traffic right now, and yeah, it's right up here on the left, you can see. And no end in sight to the traffic, but the light just turned green. So let's see how quickly the car gets over. Yeah, great job, Tesla. Just moved right over to the left lane, which is exactly what we needed. And now we've got to turn left up here into this plaza that has Target and these other stores, and the chargers are right down in there. If there was a 350 available at the Electrify America, I would actually get faster charging if it worked, and if it wasn't so expensive. It is way less expensive typically to use a Tesla Supercharger. 661 miles on the return trip to Dallas-Fort Worth, 430 watt hours per mile. So lifetime on the vehicle, 427 watt hours per mile. It is noon, 68 degrees, but unfortunately we're sitting at this light for a minute. So I will show you what the chargers look like here as I pull down into them in just a few minutes. Okay, so I dropped my wife off at the store she needed to go to, and now I'm headed back out, and I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and charge at the Electrify America because it's going to be faster and there's no one there. And it looks to me like they've upgraded these all to 350 kilowatt chargers, so why not? Let's plug in, check it out. Look at the mess here. I mean, it's just disgusting when people do that, but anyway, I'm going to back in. Yeah, these are the new higher speed EA chargers. They replaced these in the last year or so, if I recall. And I'm just going to get hooked up, use my CCS adapter by, oh, I need to get closer, shoot. Use my CCS adapter by EV base and get some juice on the car. There we go. We should be good like that. Let me go ahead and get plugged in, get this charger activated, and I'll be right back with you. So there you go. About the same kilowatt hour rate with the Pass Plus plan, 36 cents kilowatt hour. Now, unfortunately, tapping with my RFID, card that's on my phone, Apple Wallet, would not work. That's the normal way. You plug in and then just tap the phone. That's usually the quickest, but what I ended up doing was using the Electrify America app and just activating it that way under my membership, which that's $7 a month, and it buys down that charging rate pretty significantly. And you'll see we're pulling 134 kilowatts already. Let's jump in the vehicle and see what kind of charging speeds we get here at EA. If we go over 250 kilowatts, it was worth coming over here. If we don't, it wasn't. However, either way, we'll get a charge here. So let's see how it works. So we're sitting around 235 kilowatts, 234. My guess is it will ramp up a little more. Let's see what happens. Sorry, that's my rear view mirror turning on and off. I was rebooting it. 236, 234. Now we should see 300 plus kilowatts, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I came over here thinking I would get a faster charge more quickly. Typical Electrify America, it's derated and I'm not getting my full speeds. But weirdly, the car's not displaying a message that the charging session is limited by the charger. So I don't know. But listen, it's over 200 kilowatts. It's fine. It'll be a fairly quick session. And I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Let's just watch for another minute, see if it goes up anymore. It's just sitting in the mid 230s, which is fine. So I would have probably seen 250 at the Tesla charger. That one's usually a pretty congested one, and I've seen derating there. Also, it's hard to get in and out of the doors. If they walk back over here, my wife, she can get in the vehicle way more easily. And we've got the dogs with us. They'll be in the back of the car. So, and it's on the driver's side back seat. It's just easier for them to get in and out. I'm parked, pretty far away, plenty of space. But I don't know why there's so much trash in this area. I don't know why they don't clean it up. They could do such a better job here in this plaza. But 234 kilowatts and just holding steady. That's good. Not terrible. Not displeased. Not worth unplugging and replugging at all. And this will be a fairly inexpensive charging session for sure. So I started charging at 12:09. I've been here 5 minutes. I put 17 kilowatt hours of energy. And keep in mind, it took a minute to get activated. So this thing charges great low into the pack. I mean, I'm pulling 234 kilowatts still. It's just holding steady at that. And again, it can take up to 350 at first, and then it starts ramping down. But man, this is great charging low into the state of charge. But as this thing fills up, it just slows down way too quickly. So we're going to sit here and charge a little bit. They're still shopping. And, again, look at how quickly it's throwing kilowatt hours of energy into this vehicle. Now we're up to 19 kilowatt hours in, that 5 minute span. 120 kilowatt hours. I mean, it's ripping, which, you know, when you can hold those kind of speeds a long time, a car charges well. Just Tesla's charging curve, you'll see it start to drop here soon. And that's the challenge. 235 and just holding. Okay. Just to recap that last leg, 184 miles, 414 watt hours per mile, 430 overall on the leg back to DFW, and loving the Cybertruck. Fantastic vehicle. And we've only got 54 minutes, 47 miles to go. I'll report back here in just a little bit. Okay, 8 minutes in, 28 kilowatt hours of energy. It just came off the 235. Now it's just dropping slightly at 32%. So from, you know, 8% to 32%, it was able to hold, you know, mid 200 kilowatts. And again, if this charger would work as expected and I could pull 350 kilowatts, it would do that. I think these might be 400 volt. I don't know, guys. Tell me why I'm not seeing 350 on an EA 350. This is an 800 volt car. Something's not right. Anyway, still pulling over 200 kilowatts, but you can see it's dramatically slowed down. Let's take a look here. We would arrive to the hotel right now with 19%. I'm going to let it charge for just a little bit longer. Then I'm going to pull the car back up by the stores. I need to run in and use the facilities, and then we'll head down the road. We've got, you know, an hour drive. It'll be easy. So I'll be back with you here shortly. So far this charging session has cost about $16. We've put 43 kilowatt hours of energy on in, what is that, 13 minutes? Not bad, but again, now you see it's slowing down. It's down to 163 kilowatts at 44%. I'll arrive to the Horseshoe with 30, so I'm good to go. And I think I'm gonna head up to the stores here in just a minute. Just trying to get a little extra in case the chargers there aren't working and the car has to sit overnight. So I think I'll charge up to about 50% just to be safe. And then we'll get out of here. So I'll be back with you here shortly. One thing that is cool, and they've added that, Electrify America now has live activities on the iPhone, which is really nice. So that, you know, I'm able to see my charging percentages and stuff live from the car. That's really cool. But, yeah, I'm going to get unplugged here, I think, in just a second. Head up to the shops and go ahead and find a restroom, and then head to the Horseshoe. We'll arrive now with close to 40%, and we're currently at 53. And by the way, see the charging speeds, they've dropped way off, down to about 135 kilowatts. So yeah, I think it's just about time to take off and get out of here. But I'll be back with you here in just a little bit as we hit the road. Okay, so back on the road again, 9 miles in, 10 minutes, 445 watt hours per mile, and 43 minutes, 38 miles from the destination for today. So that'll be it for today. I'll give you a final recap at the destination. 671 miles on the way back to Dallas-Fort Worth, 431 watt hours per mile. So we will see how it plays out. I think we'll see some better efficiency because probably the last 20 miles is fairly slow going. That's why, you know, it's 43 minutes for 38 miles, because there's some back roads and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be back with you here for a end of the day update, and then finishing out the trip tomorrow back to Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay, so here we are just getting ready to cross over into Mississippi. You got the big fireworks station right on the Tennessee line. Tennessee-Mississippi line. Looks like the police got something going on over here. Looks like they just pulled each other over. No idea. Anyway, 388 watt hours per mile, 30 miles in 33 minutes, and right up here is the Welcome to Mississippi sign. We've got about 19 minutes to go, 17 miles, arriving with around 39%, and there you go, Welcome to Mississippi. Birthplace of America's music. And yeah, it's been a fairly quick day. Looks like we're going to arrive right around 1:30. That's kind of what I predicted there earlier. So pretty well right on track, and plenty left in the battery. There is charging here, so hopefully I can get plugged in overnight and start tomorrow with a full tank of electrons. So I'll report back to you here as we get to the casino. Okay, just getting ready to pull in here. There is charging right inside the garage. We're just going to pull in, park, go in and check the room, make sure everything's okay, and then assuming it is, we will stay here for the evening. Right here are the charging stations. Wow. Actually, I'm not going to park there right now. It looks like they got that generator running. So I am going to go around and park towards the hotel check-in. Anyway, here we are, 385 watt-hours per mile, 48 miles, a total of 710 miles back to DFW, 427 watt-hours per mile. It's 1:30 as expected, and it is 65 degrees out. I will check back in with you here in just a little bit. So unfortunately, there was a mix-up at the Horseshoe, and we have decided to continue on the trip for a little bit. We're just going to head up to this EVgo charging station on the west side of Memphis, get juiced up, and while I'm juicing, I'll figure out where we're going to stay and try to find a hotel that I can get an early check-in, because it's only 1:30 in the afternoon. So anyway, just been driving a couple miles, and I couldn't make it to Brinkley on a charge, so I've got to go to this charger. But I've charged here plenty of times. It's been good, and it's showing all the chargers are available. So I will update you. It is preconditioning right now. Going to arrive with around 25% in 32 miles. So I'll report back to you here momentarily. Okay, just jumping off the exit right now to this EVgo charging station. It's not far off the exit. I've been to this one before, and I've also had confusion at this exit before, so let's take a look and see what the best way to get there is. Yeah, so we're just going to go right and go down here and get on the service road. Okay, I'll be back with you in a minute as I pull in. 34 miles, 463 watt-hours per mile. And we're going to be turning left here in just a second. Okay, we are hooked up and getting ready to charge. I've charged at this one many times. It's a good stop right off the interstate. It is a Flying J truck stop. And you've got these two charging stations right here. Both 350 kilowatt. Split 175s. I'm plugged in with my EV base adapter, and it was buried in the under the bed of the truck in the underbed storage. Anyway, I did cancel my meetings for tonight. One of them canceled. The other meeting was tentative. I went ahead and canceled, and there were problems at the property, so I just went ahead and left. And we're going to stay in West Little Rock, Arkansas, so another couple of hours from here. But you'll see at 24% on these EVgo chargers, right up over 300 kilowatts. I mean, look at that, 347. And there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I like these for the Cybertruck. And that's why I try to hit these as opposed to the Tesla chargers. So let me let this thing rip along, and you'll see. I mean, it's just cranking the juice in over 300 kilowatts. So what a great charging session. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, got juiced up to about 67%. I've been riding for 5 minutes, 5 miles, 750 miles total on the DFW return trip, 430 watt-hours per mile. We're going to make a quick stop at the Brinkley supercharger, throw a little bit of juice in the car, and then head on to Little Rock, where we'll end up staying there for the evening. 64 degrees out. It is chilly here in this area, but it looks like we're going to make pretty good time. 53 minutes for 60 miles, arriving with around 36%. We'll just charge there for 5 to 10 minutes and then head on to the destination for the evening, which is about another hour from there. So about 2 total hours from now, and we will be there. So I will keep you updated here as we go. Okay, still preconditioning for fast charging, 5 miles from the exit. 66 degrees out, 3:26 p.m. And we're almost there. Going to arrive with around 40%, 469 watt hours per mile. These were pretty fast highway speeds here. You can see 48 minutes for 60 miles. Yeah, pretty quick highway speeds. Over 800 miles back into the DFW trip, and this will be the last charging stop of the day. Now, there is a Tesla supercharger right beside the hotel this evening, so probably when I go pick up food, I'll drop the car there, walk somewhere, pick food up, and come back, take the car back to the hotel, whatever. We'll figure it out. But looking forward to getting there. It's been a long travel day, a couple hours longer than expected due to the complications there at the Horseshoe. But good news is we'll be here to Brinkley in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm pulling into the charger here in Brinkley. Looks like we got a Rivian charging over there. And let's see which one we can get plugged into. We'll plug in right here at the end. Busy stop today, super busy. All right, let me get plugged in and I'll be right back with you. This is a completely full charger. Okay, and we are juicing. So a car just pulled in, one car just pulled out, but it was full there for just a split second. And it may be station limited here because of the amount of vehicles. But the Model X just pulled in over there. Got a Rivian R1S charging. So yeah, good to see them being used. We're up over 100 kilowatts. Remember, it's a slow ramp. 65 miles, 460 watt hours per mile on that leg. 810 miles total, 431 watt hours per mile. And here we're at 42%, pulling 167, 172, 174. Okay, leveling out around 165 kilowatts. So there you go. I'll be right back with you. So it did pop up and say charge rate limited by station, and then that blue car right there just unplugged, and I jumped right up to 181 kilowatts. So it was station limited. Just, I mean, this thing was maxed out. Everybody at a low state of charge and pulling, you know, maximum kilowatts. But hey, now we're pulling 180. It's going to be way better than what I can get over there in Little Rock. It's a 150, and that thing is usually pretty full. And then you split power and you only get 70 kilowatts or whatever. So see, like right now, it's a 10 station. There's only 3 available, which means you're going to power share. So I would pull like 72 kilowatts, which is just horrible. So we're going to go ahead and sit here and charge for a few minutes and then head on to the hotel. Let's take a look at the distance. It's 1 hour and 10 minutes, 77 miles. So not a big deal, but let's go ahead and get juiced up here for a minute. So got here at 3:33. It's 3:44. Been here 11 minutes. Took on 26 kilowatt hours of energy. I'm about to unplug here in just a minute. I just wanted to put on enough so I have Sentry mode at the hotel, and then at some point I'll plug into the Tesla supercharger that's right near the hotel and let this thing properly fill up for a little bit. So yeah, not too bad. It's just, again, this 114 kilowatt charging at 63%. That should be 200 kilowatts. So that's really the issue, is the slow charging speeds up high with Teslas, and I know I've mentioned it several times, but it really holds you up on a situation like this. I could have been gone minutes ago. So anyway, I'll be back with you here as we make the final leg today. We've got 77 miles to go, an hour and 10 minutes. Shows that we'll arrive with 30%. I'd say it's time to go ahead and get unplugged and get on the road. So let me do that. Okay, and off we go. Okay, so down to the final miles, 26 minutes out, 27 miles. Gonna arrive with around 36%. That has improved dramatically. 433 watt hours per mile for the last 50 miles, sitting at 45% on the battery currently, and 860 miles on the DFW trip, 431 watt hours per mile. It's 4:28 p.m. 64 degrees out, and it's been fairly smooth. Heavy traffic during the last 10 or 15 minutes, almost coming to a complete stop on the interstate several times. Now remember, this is going into a holiday week. This is Saturday, the weekend before Thanksgiving, and so here a lot of people are making holiday travel, I'm sure, over this weekend. So glad we're getting into the hotel here in just a few minutes. Looking forward to that. And then back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and back towards home tomorrow. So let me try to give you one more update here for the day, and then if I end up charging this evening, I'll show you that, but I am pretty tired. I don't know if I'll even do that. I may just charge tomorrow on the way home. We'll see how it goes. I'll be back with you here shortly. So I just wanted to show you kind of the beautiful sunset here in Little Rock, Arkansas area. As the sun's starting to go down, you know, it's 4:30. Really pretty looking skies out there. And it has been a really nice drive overall. Just a long one, longer than expected and longer than planned. But yeah, we're still making good progress. Not much has changed. It's just been a few minutes. 18 minutes out, 36% upon arrival. Almost there and almost wrapping up today. Okay, here is the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. There's the downtown area right over there to the right, and we are at 426.8 watt hours per mile, 426.4. Obviously driving through city area at city speeds, and getting better efficiency. So gonna arrive still with around 36% in 13 minutes at 4:52. Jumping off onto 30 West, 130 West now, by the way. I transitioned from 40 to 30, but then 30 separates and breaks off here to the right in a few miles, and then I'll be exiting just shortly after that. And I've been driving for 53 minutes. Overall, this entire trip's almost right at the lifetime average. It's 431 watt hours per mile, so pretty good overall, given the highway speeds and all the circumstances that we dealt with. And yeah, I'm making it there. Let me bump it up to hurry and keep up with traffic. I've got a truck right on my bumper, and I will report back here as I get to the hotel. Okay, just passing the supercharger here. It's off to the left and headed right up here to the True, which is over here to the right. So almost to the hotel, and glad to be checking in there for the evening. And final stats for the day: 886 miles, 429 watt hours per mile. And on this leg, 77 miles, 412 watt hours per mile. Better than the lifetime of the car and improving the overall average. So thanks for following along. I will be back with you if I charge this up at all tonight. Otherwise, I will see you first thing in the morning as we depart back towards Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay, I actually came over here to the charger, and it's a V2, but I was able to get on a post that nobody's sharing with right now, so it does take longer to handshake, but we are charging. So unless it's site limited, we should see some pretty decent charging speeds, which, you know, I like to do. Since nobody's plugged into that one, I'm able to come up here. Everybody else is sharing power. I mean, it's a completely full site other than the one beside me. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit here for a minute. Hopefully nobody pulls in and over there and cuts the charging speed, but I'm pulling 145 kilowatts right now, and I'm happy with that, believe it or not, at a 36% state of charge. So let me let this juice up. You can see the cost is 31 cents a kilowatt hour, and we are ripping. I'll be back with you here with a final update. I'm gonna sit and charge here for a little bit. So I've been sitting here about 8 minutes, and another Tesla just pulled up beside me, and we're gonna share power. It took him 5 tries to get pulled in there, but he finally figured it out. But I'm still pulling 131 kilowatts. He's not plugged in yet. As soon as he does, right over here, and here he goes, you will see my power drop down to about 70 some kilowatts. Now, what I was hoping to do was charge to get all the way to the EVgo in Texarkana, Texas tomorrow, but I may not do that because now we're going to see terrible speeds. Watch it drop. It's actually still holding at 110, 111, but the charge rate is limited by the charging station. Huh, that's interesting. There you go. It just dropped. So as his car ramped up, it drops to 74 kilowatts, and we are sharing power. And that kind of sucks. And that's what the problem is with version 2. Try to stay away from version 2 superchargers, because this is exactly what will happen. Now, with that being said, I'm at 50%. I mean, I can obviously bail out. I'm going to take a look along the route and see what Tesla superchargers we have. If I click continue trip and I've got enough energy, click the Tesla supercharger icon and see we've got a supercharger right here in Hope, Arkansas that I can hit. And if I head to it right now, so I can make it to Hope. It wants me to charge for 5 more minutes here to make it to Hope. But here's the other little pro tip for me. There's an EVgo right here in Benton, about 10 minutes from the hotel, which I can pull, 350 kilowatts from, but not at this high state of charge. So I'm going to sit here and clean up some email, take care of a few things, and I'm going to take off. I'm going to click continue trip. I've got enough power to continue to Hope. I really need to put about 10% more on so I can sit overnight with Sentry mode. But here's the thing, I can always come back over here later when this charger empties out and plug in. It's 5 p.m. on a Saturday, and so it's full. One car just left there, but if I moved over, I'd just share power with the other car. So I'm gonna just sit here for a minute and check my email, and then I'll get out of here. I actually left because my hotel's right next door. Went and had dinner and just came back and plugged into an unoccupied set of chargers, so we should ramp up close to 150. I'm gonna go ahead and sit here for a few minutes. What I'm trying to do is get enough juice to where I don't have to charge 10 miles away in the morning. So I checked it after dinner, and I thought, you know what, let me come over here and plug in for a few minutes and see if I can't charge uninterrupted. So we'll see what happens at 6:15 now. I'll check back with you, pulling 136 kilowatts. Here's probably a problem, part of the problem, I'm sorry. This Audi just pulled in, and they're gonna try to charge here. So I'm gonna have to jump out and explain to them they cannot charge at a version 2 supercharger. They won't understand it, but whatever. I'm gonna try to communicate with them. So they pulled in instead of backing in, and they're not gonna be able to charge. So I'll be back with you here in a minute. So they had just gotten the car for their daughter and knew they could charge at Tesla, but I did my best to explain to them version 2 versus version 3, whatever. And I told them they could use the Tesla app and look at which ones you can charge at. They just knew there was a Tesla charger, and they had the adapter, and they were coming over to charge. So I told them how to Google it, how to look it up, and how to find the compatible chargers. But it's ridiculous here in this market that we have all these different charging handles, different compatibilities. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it'll very much limit mass adoption Unlike a lot of other countries where they adopted CCS2 or kind of one charging standard, we're just a scattered mess here. So thank goodness things are going NACS going forward. But in the meantime, stuff like that's going to happen. And she said they really didn't need a charge. They were just trying to test it out. Anyway, I am still pulling 117 kilowatts. I'm going to let it charge for a bit. As you know, what was it, 6:15, it's 6:22, so 15 kilowatts in 7 minutes. Nothing to write home about, but hey, at least I'm charging, so we'll see where this car pulls in. Oh, I thought that was a Tesla, it's not. Anyway, the charger's opening up. I mean, all of these spots beside me are open. Kind of crazy compared to earlier, but hey, I'm getting a charge over 100 kilowatts. I'm going to sit here for a little bit and top up so that I am good to go in the morning. If I leave right now, I can get to Hope, Arkansas with 23%. What I want to check is, we're going to end this trip. If I want to go to Texarkana. So right now, if I leave to Texarkana, I've got 14%. That's not enough because it's going to sit and get cold overnight. And also Sentry Mode will consume a few percent. So I need to get this to like 20-25%. So we'll see if I want to sit here for a little bit. But right now I was just catching up on email and honestly just relaxing after having dinner at the little Mexican place next door. 6:23 p.m., 62 degrees. It is getting cold out. Anyway, I will report back here as I'm wrapping up. I did want to share with you, it's pretty cheap charging here though. 31 cents a kilowatt hour is pretty cheap in today's environment. And so, you know, this session, 21 kilowatt hours, has cost $7.20. Not bad at all. So that's very, very reasonable in my opinion. Home charging is roughly 10 cents depending on where you live. You know, certainly in the West Coast, California is much, much higher. But generally, I've found it's between 8 and 15 cents, depending on what part of the country you're in. But, you know, California, double that. Anyway, so we're at 96 kilowatts at 69% on the battery. It's just happily chugging along, and I'm just getting some buffer on here so I can make a longer trek in the morning, and I've got multiple bailout options. And you know, I like to have it pretty well topped up so when I take off in the morning I can run a longer leg because I'll be fresh. And right now to go from here to home is roughly 5 hours, I believe. So this will be an easy one tomorrow, and then we'll end this road trip adventure together. I do appreciate you following along. If you've watched this thing this far, I said this earlier, let me know. I really enjoy, if you've watched the whole video, I enjoy hearing about it. So follow back along here. I will update you as I'm getting unplugged. And a car beside me is just getting ready to plug in. I'm at 88 kilowatts, and you know I'm going to drop here once he gets plugged in. But I can take off here any minute. Again, I was just topping up, so in the morning I've got a longer stretch. And there, I just felt it drop, so, or saw it drop. Now we're down to 73 kilowatts. Honestly, it didn't slow it down that much because the pack's pretty full, so I am going to ride it out just for a couple of more minutes. I've got some time, and I'm still catching up, so heck, why not? And here, you know, the site's filling up. This site really needs to be expanded. First of all, we need version 3 or version 4, and frankly, we need double the stalls. I have shared power at this site more than any charging site in the country, and it's pretty much a dead zone along the interstate, along I-30 and I-40. It's really, really tough. So I just think there needs to be more chargers, and these need to be upgraded. So they had them offline the other week, completely offline. I thought they were upgrading them. It looks like they just got some new handles and stuff on them, new cables and whatnot. But man, this site could really, really use an upgrade. Okay, I will let you know here as we finish up. Let's see how much money we've spent. $8. Yeah, not much. Almost $9. Okay, and here's my point. We have a completely full charging site. When I pulled in just a few minutes ago, this site was almost empty. And if it was a V3, people could top up and get out of here much more quickly. So I'm pulling 74 kilowatts still, and I'm going to go ahead and finish topping up. But I'd have been done already. Earlier, I'd have been done and out of here instead I had to come back. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I don't know why this site hasn't been addressed here in Little Rock. It's been super high demand for the last couple of years, so kind of interesting to me. But yeah, I've got plenty of buffer right now. I'm going to go ahead and just top up to 80%, just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to head back to the hotel and turn in for the evening. 6:33 p.m. I'll probably take off early a.m., try to get back to Dallas-Fort Worth by lunchtime or something. So we'll see how that plays out. But thanks again for following along. I really do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, let's look at cost again. $10.33 up to 76%. So pretty cool. I honestly have only ever done this a couple times with my Teslas in all the years where I'm just sitting at a charger topping up. I finished my email. I'm just waiting till it hits 80% now. So thought you may want to join me. It should kick off right at 80%. Otherwise, I'm going to pay congestion fees of 50 cents a minute in addition to charging costs. So I'm at $11.51 now. I've put 35 kilowatt hours of energy in. So what, about a third of the battery roughly. Not bad, inexpensive. Of course, EVgo would have been free for me. That's fine. I wanted it topped up for convenience. And I don't know why I keep staying at this hotel, because this charger's always a mess. I need to stay at a different hotel in Little Rock that just has level 2 charging. It would save me a lot of time. But you'll notice that little I right here beside the 74 kilowatts. What it's telling you is, hey, it's slow, battery's almost full, charge rate's reduced. It's basically saying, hey, don't charge this full. Don't sit here like I am and wait. You should go about your business. And there you go, all done. Let me get unplugged and get out of here. I'll be back with you in the morning. Cut that. Okay, and we are off, 6:52 a.m. Headed to the EVgo in Texarkana, Texas on the way back home. And starting out with 888 miles on the DFW drive, 430 watt-hours per mile. It's 61 degrees out. Let's hit the road. Should arrive with around 26% in 122 miles. Okay, and we are on the road. FSD is taking over the drive. This should be a straight shot across I-30 west. Pretty dreary out. You can see it's 59 degrees now that I've gotten rolling. Got rolling right before 7 a.m. so 6:50 departure. We'll see how long it takes. Hoping to be home by, say, 12:30. I'd say that's roughly accurate. We'll see how it goes with traffic and charging and all of that stuff. Probably make 2 quick stops to break the trip up a little bit. First leg is going to be fairly long, an hour and 42 minutes, 121 miles, arriving at 8:38 a.m. Now I could stretch it a bit past that, but there's a couple EVgo chargers along the route that are real easy right off the interstate. I think I'm just going to hit the 2 of those. Quick splash and dash, quick bit of juice, and then back riding. 70 mile an hour highways here, you'll see it'll pick that up, and it should increase the speed here automatically using FSD. If it doesn't, by the way, all you have to do is use this right scroll wheel, slide up. Now it's in standard. Standard will automatically speed it up. It was in chill, now it's in standard. You'll notice it's picking speed up and going just a few miles within the speed limit. The little green dot up there, again by the 59 degrees Fahrenheit, shows that full self-driving hands-free is on. I'm alert, I'm paying attention, and the vehicle is driving me. I'm hearing that 14.2, the latest version that's come out that I do not have, is even better. Like, really no stuttering, no intervention, and it takes away any of the unsteadiness of the version I'm on. So they're saying it's just getting leaps and bounds better each time. I believe it, because this is so much better. than anything in the past. So yeah, it's really, really remarkably good. All right, I'll be back with you here as we cruise along over the next couple hours. All right, so I'm debating here. I was just looking at Tesla navigation, and it's recommending I just make 2 stops to get all the way home. New Boston and Greenville. New Boston for 15 minutes at a 13% state of charge, and in Greenville for 9 minutes. Honestly, I think I'm going to do that, although I have to pay and I'm not using my free EVgo charging. I think it'll just save time, and it's been a long few days. I don't want to mess around with EVgo chargers that sometimes work, sometimes don't. I mean, for the most part, they've been pretty successful, but we're going to go ahead and update our navigation and just hit the road and get home with 2 stops. New Boston, which it just recalculated because I'm not stopping at the EVgo. It is, and I'll show you in a second, it's showing, and yeah, I don't have to hold the wheel. It's showing I'll get to the first charger with 17%, and it wants me to charge for 15 minutes, and then 9 minutes at the next one. I mean, that's proper road tripping, and no sense in stopping at 27% on a battery, even though it doesn't cost anything, versus a few dollars at the Tesla charger. I want to get home sooner, so we're going to pay. Again, just the unreliability, the handshake time. I've had issues. Sometimes I have to move the car. It'll stop charging. At Tesla chargers, I typically have next to no issues. So that's what I'm leaning towards. The car does charge slightly slower at the Tesla chargers. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see. I'll think about it as I drive, but it's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So time will tell. So right now I'm debating, do I stop at that Pilot Flying J for the first one and then just do the Greenville? And I'll tell you why. The new Boston Supercharger is a version 3 250 kilowatt. The Greenville is a new version 4 dispenser that'll do up to 325 kilowatt on the Cybertruck. So I'm leaning towards maybe splitting this up and stopping at the first stop at the Pilot Flying J, and honestly, I feel like I need to stop a little sooner, and then going on to Greenville, or looking at that next Pilot Flying J. I don't know at this point, just again, figuring it out mid-trip. This is part of the fun of road tripping in a Tesla. It has gotten colder. It's 57 degrees out. Now it just dropped to 56, 7:20 a.m. Not great efficiency on that stretch so far, 455 watt-hours per mile. Very, very rough road. Now, I don't know if you could hear the difference. This is very smooth surface, so we'll see efficiency improve here in the next little while. Of course, we are running at highway speeds. That'll suck down the juice as well. And we're 920 miles in with not that far to go yet. We'll be home very, very shortly. This will be a quick one today. And it'll end this cross-country road trip with full self-driving in the Tesla Cybertruck, and it has been really, really, really good. So there's the sign for Texarkana, 99 miles, and we're stopping on this side at 89 miles, and I think that's probably what we'll do, but we shall see. I'll be back with you here as we get closer. So it's very strange, but it is super cold here in Texas. I have no idea why this truck is going so slow in front of us. It's a 75-mile-an-hour highway, and we've got a truck sitting in the left lane doing 60. I have no idea what this guy's doing. Anyway, it is freezing out. It's 50 degrees out. It's supposed to be 60 at our destination. Should make it there if this pickup truck will get out of the way. Should make it there in about 57 minutes, 8:34 a.m. Not great efficiency running at highway speeds, 465 watt-hours per mile. Been driving for 44 minutes, 55 miles. And we will see how it goes here. We are on the way. Okay, beautiful blue skies, starting to warm up a little bit. Looks like we are 33 minutes, 38 miles, gonna arrive with around 24%. Been driving for 83 miles an hour in 6 minutes and 498 watt-hours per mile. This is like the least efficient stretch I typically drive on. High highway speeds, rough roads, a lot of friction, a lot of crosswind. It does not do well through here in any gas, electric. I've been driving this stretch for many years, and I always consume a ton more fuel no matter what vehicle I drive, going east or west. Just tons of crosswinds, etc. Anyway, I am going to stop to CV Go. Need to make a pit stop anyway, and it's only 30 minutes out. This is an easy one. I've charged here many times. Usually works fairly well. We'll see how it goes. If there's a problem, I can always shoot on to New Boston. And then once I get there, I am going to look at that next EVgo along the route versus that Greenville supercharger, because I think the Greenville might be at a Buc-ee's. I think that might be a new Buc-ee's, and I really try to avoid those because they add so much time. And at this point, it's been a long few days. If you can't tell, I was exhausted last night. I'm tired this morning. I just want to get home. It's going to be Sunday, afternoon, right after noon, really, till we get home. And I've been gone for a couple of weeks, whatever. And then I've got a ton of work the next few days. It's just super, super busy. So no downtime for sure. Yeah, the sooner I get home, I may be able to relax for a few hours this afternoon. I got a lot of catch-ups to do in my home office, but I'll do whatever catch-up I can do within an hour or so, get a little bit caught up, and then try to relax this afternoon. So that's the plan. It's warming up slightly, 53 degrees, and I'm glad to see it, because that was really, really cool. I'm not sure why this truck is camping in the left lane. Glad he moved over. FSD has just really been a game changer for me. I really don't want to drive cross country without FSD. I don't mind driving, 4, 5, 6 hours manually driving either the Mercedes EQS, the Rivian, or any vehicle. But if I'm going to drive more than that, I want full self-driving. It's so, so good. Anyway, I will update you as we get there. You can see I'm still preconditioning for fast charging. And, yeah, smooth, uneventful so far, but you see the consumption just keeps getting worse. But I don't know if you can hear the wind noise. There's a lot of it. A lot of crosswinds. And again, this is just always an inefficient stretch in any vehicle I drive. Okay, more details to follow. One observation, FSD has gotten very, very good about not sitting in the left lane. It used to just camp in the left lane, and if a car came up behind you, it would switch to the right. Behavior's changed totally. It now, as it passes a vehicle, it'll jump right over to the right lane unless it sees another car ahead. Like here, it sees this truck, and it knows nobody's behind me. It knows we're going to pass right away. So it stays in the left lane, but it just is constantly, and I'm in hurry mode right now, and it's constantly been switching from the passing lane back to the regular traffic lane over and over and over. Very, very impressive. Terrible consumption, by the way. High highway speeds. Lots of wind resistance. And there's an example. Look at that. There's nobody behind me at all. And it just jumps over to the right lane. I mean, great job, Tesla, with that. It's better than I am. For sure. Smoother than most human drivers at this point. I'm hearing 14.2 really takes that up a notch. So, hey, we're only 18 minutes out, 20 miles to the exit. It's warming up a little, 52 degrees. We'll see how it goes. Almost 1,000 miles on the DFW trip, 989 miles, 439 watt-hours per mile. Crazy. I'm going to arrive with a lower state of charge than original, just based on the wind, the highway speeds, whatever. 21% estimated state of charge upon arrival. We started out estimating 26. Now, you can control that. If I would have just dialed back the profile setting to chill, it would have managed it in at 26% or even at standard. But in hurry, it's definitely consuming more electrons. So, all right, I'll update you as we get to the charger. Okay, and here we are, getting off the exit, gonna arrive with about 20%. Terrible consumption, 517 watt-hours per mile, 121 miles, but an hour and 34 minutes, so made really good time. Again, pulling in with 20%, 54 degrees out, freezing cold, and 8:27 a.m. And it's this one right over here. The chargers are off to the right, and I've charged at this one many times. Looks pretty busy this morning. And I am going to take over and discontinue FSD and go the way I know is best to get into here. Actually, I'm going to go up here and go right because of all the truck traffic. And we're going to just scoot right in here. Just got to go around the side of the building, get back here to the EVgo chargers, and get plugged in. And they both have blue lights on the top, which means they're both available. If they're red, it means they're not working. If they're green, it means they're charging or they think they're charging. Blue means available. Okay, let's get plugged in and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this charger just failed. So let me unplug and plug back in the other side. Kind of what I was afraid of at times. Hold on. Okay, it looks like it's gonna work. We'll see what happens. I may have to go over and use the other charger, but this side failed. Let's see if the right side handle works. Matching voltage. And it got right to this point on the other one and it just crashed and came up with an error code. So yeah, this one's working. And let's take a look and see what we ramp up. We should see 300 kilowatts pretty quickly. 194, 221, 251. And right there, 347 kilowatts. So that's why I come to these, but here's the thing. That was an extra, half a minute to a minute of just getting it activated. It's becomes stressful when you can't just plug in and get these things to work. This handle, obviously there's a problem with the cable or the handle. It errored out, crashed, and just kicked back to the main screen, and I automatically left that white where I could unplug and replug. But you can see in a minute, I'm gonna get like 4+ kilowatt hours of energy. Watch how fast it throws juice in at 300+ kilowatts. And right at 1 minute, 4.5 kilowatt hours of energy. I mean, that's crazy, right? 5 kilowatt hours in a minute, still pulling 318, love it. All right, let me take a look how long we gotta go and I'll be back with you. Okay, I started charging at exactly 8:30. It is now 8:35, so 5 minutes, put in 17 kilowatt hours, still pulling 219, 220 at 35%. I mean, that's pretty good. Like I've said throughout this video, great charging at a low state of charge. But I'm gonna tell you, once it hits 50% or so, it just slows down. And here's the thing, to get to the next one, which is in Sulphur Springs, I need to put on another 14 or so percent. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna sit here, let this thing charge up. We both need to use the restroom, plenty of stuff to do here. And we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of that. Before you know it, we'll be topped up. I'm guessing I'll probably put 60 or 70% on the pack and then take off. So more details to follow, but that is the plan for now with this charging session. 1,010 miles back to Texas, 440 watt hours per mile. I don't expect this next leg to be very efficient either, so I want to let this thing charge up some. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, as I mentioned, I started charging at 8:30. It's 8:43, so I put on 40 kilowatt hours in 13 minutes. I mean, that's pretty darn good, but we're only pulling 138 kilowatts at 54%. If I leave now, I'll get to my next stop with 3%. I've got to go use the restroom, so let me do that, and I'll be back with you here shortly. So, been here for 18 minutes now, have put on 42% on the battery. Again, that's good, but now would normally be the time to hit the road. We're ready to go. Only pulling 110 kilowatts. We can get here, we're going to grab food here in about a half an hour, and then I can make it easily to the EVgo, the next one. But what I want is enough of a buffer, so if that one wouldn't work, I can get here. Also, I'm running at highway speed, so I need to put about another 10% on just to be safe. Now, there is a Tesla supercharger in Sulphur Springs, but it's in town and it's a 150 split charging, etc. So if I end up sucking up a bunch of juice and the EVgo charger at the Pilot Flying J doesn't work, I can make it there. And then in case I wouldn't be able to make it over to Greenville, which is not that far, and that is a good charger, and it's not a Buc-ee's. It's a good one, though. And I've used it a few times, and it's been a fast, good, convenient charger. I do like that one a lot. I do remember the location now. Anyway, 63%, pulling 104 kilowatts. We're going to sit here just a few more minutes, get a little bit of a buffer, and then hit the road. Okay, just about ready to hit the road. Been charging for 22 minutes. Have put on 57 kilowatt hours of energy. And you can see it's slowing way down. We're up to 68%. It's at 93 kilowatts. I'm just going to finish up at 70%. And right now we've got a buffer to get to Greenville with 5%. We'll get to the Pilot Flying J with 17%, which will get us this nice charging speed. And then from there, you know, just going home and arriving with a fairly low state of charge at home, which is totally fine. I have multiple level 2 charging at home, and I can plug this in and let it juice up. Pretty inexpensive there at a trickle rate, charging speed, I should say. Yeah, feel good about this stop overall. I just really think Tesla can improve their charging curves, and I hope you all can see that. I know if you're a big Tesla promoter or you really like them, I know it's tolerable and it's workable, but my Mercedes EQS really opened up my eyes. It holds such a strong charging speed so deep into the pack. It's just an awesome road tripper. I'm blown away by it. It's so good. The Model Y is good too, only because it's so efficient. It really needs charging curve improvements. So we are 8:54 right now at 24 minutes and just about to unplug. Let's watch this. Let's check out the cost. Oh wait, there is none. That is the advantage, by the way. No cost at these stops. Let's unplug and hit the road. All right, I'll be right back with you. So we charged in Texarkana, Arkansas, and now we're just crossing into Texarkana, Texas. That's kind of the state line right there. This is the first exit within Texas. And should see the Welcome to Texas sign soon. But we are in a construction zone. Terrible roads through here. But, you know, hey, we're doing okay. We're going to arrive to that Pilot Flying J with 19% on the battery, which is plenty. And let's just watch and kind of see what happens here as we ride along. Efficiency settling in after the DC fast charging session. Of course, that you know, definitely requires the HVAC system to cool the battery back down after that super fast charging session. So all that high current, high voltage really creates a lot of heat. So the battery's got to cool down. The HVAC system works overtime. There's your Welcome to Texas sign right over there, in amongst all the construction. Drive friendly, the Texas way. So yeah, long story short, at first when you start out after charging, your watt hours per mile will be very high, and then as the battery cools down, the car settles back in, you'll see that improve and get back to normal. I wonder why they have these rumble strips here. fighting me, but left lane towards Dallas. We don't want the local lane. Anyway, we are riding along. Should be to this McDonald's here in about 20 minutes. We'll stop there, grab our food real quick, continue on, and then it's only about an hour to that next EVgo charger. We'll charge there probably 15-20 minutes, get just enough juice on to get home, and then take off. And then we'll be home within probably an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours of that. So not too much longer. We've got a good part of it knocked out this morning. Leaving early helped, and we're just riding along here through this construction zone. I will update you in just a little bit. Notice that's dropped already to 546 watt-hours per mile, and it'll just keep dropping. But can you believe we've driven over 1,000 miles in the Cybertruck on this journey back to Texas, and you've seen all kinds of changes, charges, all kinds of fun stuff. I really, really enjoy road tripping in a electric vehicle. I think it's a lot of good experience, a lot of learning, and a lot of fun. It's only going to get easier as the years go on and infrastructure improves, but they're really, truly amazing vehicles. Anyway, it is warming up, thank goodness. I keep mentioning that, but it's up to 56. It didn't feel 55 back there. It actually felt pretty good, so hopefully the wind stays calm at the next one. Okay, so about to make it to the first stop here, which is that McDonald's to grab some food. 3.4 miles, 2.8 miles to the exit 201 for New Boston, 56 out, 9:16 a.m. I got 59% on the battery. Been driving for 21 minutes, 25 miles, and 482 watt-hours per mile. As I mentioned, that's calming down, and we'll see what we finish up with for the overall DFW return trip. Right now, we are higher than the lifetime of the vehicle, but we have run through weather. We've been running pretty good highway speeds. None of that surprises me. Of course, it's all been highway as well. And the lifetime of the vehicle is some blended city and highway. Okay, well, I will be back with you with an update once we get back on the road here from McDonald's. Okay, so it is 10:03:58 now. Preconditioning for fast charging. I'm going to stop here at this next EVgo. That Greenville location, I looked on the satellite images. That's a different location than the one I was thinking of. The one I was thinking of that's new, 325s, very easy in and out of, is Wildersville, Tennessee. This Greenville location is fine, but frankly, I think we're better off just to stop this EVgo. I'm going to arrive with 23%. Should get really fast charging for the first 30%, just like you saw at the last one. Shouldn't have to charge a ton more than that, and be able to make it all the way home from there. So that's kind of the plan. Stop there for 15 minutes or so and charge, and then just go straight home. 81.7 miles so far in this leg, an hour and 9 minutes. Driven 1,092 miles, 445 watt-hours per mile. And by the way, this leg, 507 watt-hours per mile. Again, very inefficient leg, high highway speeds, and it is preconditioning. All of those factors will definitely kill consumption. So, dreary day, but it is not raining, which is a great thing. Okay, I'll update you in a little bit. Okay, well, less than 15 minutes out now, 13 minutes actually, and unfortunately that Sulphur Springs Pilot Flying J, there was a ton of traffic at that exit, construction, you had to cross the highway. I believe it would have added 5 to 10 minutes each way getting on and off, so I made the decision at the last minute just to continue on, got plenty of juice to make it to Greenville. Yeah, it'll cost a few dollars to charge, but I'll save time. And from there to my home is less than an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. And by the way, the vehicle has now figured out that we're consuming a ton of electrons, and so its estimates, when I plug it in charge up here, It's telling me to charge for 15 minutes, and then I would get home with 17%. That'll be pretty spot on. It knows what I've been consuming over the last stretch. You'll notice how beautiful blue the skies are. 10:31 a.m., 61 degrees out. I've got 17% on the battery, and been driving for 1,127 miles, 447 watt-hours per mile. You can see here as I've hit the eastern part of Texas, on these rough roadways, all the crosswinds and the higher speeds, how it just killed efficiency on this overall trip. Cool thing is, you saw me turn 20,000 miles, and now I'm going to be at, like 20,700 miles or something until I get this thing home. Kind of crazy, but anyway, you can hear how rough and loud these roads are. So, about to jump off in just a few minutes. I'll update you and show you these version 4 dispensers with version 3 cabinets, and looks like there's plenty available. We'll get plugged in and then hit the road. Okay, we are almost there, still preconditioning the battery. We've driven 130 miles this leg, and now we're in 46 minutes, 507 watt-hours per mile. Obviously pretty high consumption. Let's go ahead and dial this back to standard. It will automatically put the right turn signal on, let it jump over here, and be prepared to get off the exit. The exit's right up here on the right. So 1,141 miles on the DFW trip. By the way, it's 63 degrees out, thank goodness. And you can see it's just right off this exit. It's right here. This is a newer one, and it is right off the exit, like I said, so not bad at all. And the chargers are right there along the right side. Let's see what FSD does here. Yep, it's going the correct direction. Pulling into the charging area. Let's see what it does. Looks like it's going to back into one of these stalls behind me. I'm going to tap the accelerator. There we go. I didn't need to do that. I'm sure it would have been fine. Okay, and there we go. Let's get plugged in. Arriving here with 12%, by the way. I don't know if this will reach. Even though these are the long ones, I don't know if it pulled far enough. Yeah, it looks like it did. Just barely, by the way. I strung it up along the bumper, and there we go. We're charging. And let's take a look at the charging speeds. Okay, up to 45 kilowatts. Remember, these ramp up a little more slowly. It is saying 10 minutes needed to continue trip. We've got 82 miles to go to our final destination. Up to 90. Now we should theoretically see 325 on these. 122. Slow ramp up. $167. It's already been a good minute, and we're still ramping. Over 200 kilowatts now. We've already put 2% into the battery, already put 2 kilowatts in. Now we should be popping over 250. And there we go, we're exceeding a normal V3. 272. 292. Let's see if we hit over 300 kilowatts. We should. 302. 316. 319. 320. 321. And there you go. Real close to 325. Sitting here at 16%, pulling 322. It is slowly ramping up just a little bit, so it might see 325, but that gives you a pretty good idea. There was 323. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I just finished up using the facilities, grabbed a snack and a cold drink, and I just want to show you the charging setup right here. Pretty nice. There's a pull install there for a trailer. These are great, and they're right off the interstate, so I do really like this stop. I've been to this one a few times. I just couldn't quite remember it. Anyway, let's see how fast we are charging. Okay, let's take a look. It says we've got enough energy to continue, and still pulling 155 kilowatts at 47%. Enough energy to continue. We'll arrive home with 15%. So I will check back with you. 42 kilowatts so far into the pack in a very short period of time. Started charging at 10:43, 18 minutes ago. Still not ready yet. My wife's going and I think getting a refreshment, whatever. And we'll already get there with 26%. We've already put 56 kilowatt hours on, charging at 124 kilowatts at 59%, 63 degrees out as I've mentioned, and yeah, we're good to go. This is definitely the last stop. Great job on these version 4 cabinets. They seem to hold steady power longer than the version 3s. They don't overheat the cables. They're immersion cooled, water cooled, liquid cooled, I should say, not water. Liquid cooled cables, they make a big difference. Really like these. And they've got longer cables. So anyway, hope to get out of here soon. Getting home hopefully around 12:30. I don't know how much longer she'll be, but we'll see. And then we'll hit the road. So yeah, from 11% to 70%. Let's see what it costs. $25.90, 35 cents a kilowatt hour. Let's watch as it pops to 71. So that'd be like putting 60% of the battery in. And we're still just waiting, so I'm gonna keep topping up. It's not a big deal. There we are, 71%, costs $26. So I added 60% to the battery for $26. Let's click the information icon. Been here for 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes. That's how long it's taken us at this stop as we're road tripping across the country. ETA right now is 12:34. Maybe I can make up a few minutes, hoping to get home right around 12:30. And good news is the interstate's right out there. And as soon as she gets back and gets settled in, we will take off. So this last leg, 132 miles, 501 watt hours per mile. We will cross 1,200 miles on this journey. And it's been a good one overall. Do appreciate you following along. Beautiful blue skies here in Texas, and glad to be back in the great state of Texas. Love the Tesla superchargers, man. They are so convenient, so nice, so easy to use, and just, they work. Really great. Okay, so we charged up to 77% from 12%, so 65% on the battery cost $29. Now, had I stopped at that Pilot Flying J prior, that would have been free, but we're that much closer to home, and we would have taken more time because of getting on and off the exit. Now, that total stop was 32 minutes, which pushed us back a little bit getting home. I was expecting to get there about 12:30. Looks like we'll get there around 12:40 with 45% on the battery. So tons and tons of extra juice, and no big deal. We'll make up a little bit of that time over the next hour. 33 miles, we jump on President George Bush Turnpike. We'll be in the Dallas area, and then a total of 80 miles to home. That last 15, 20 miles is a lot of red lights, a lot of traffic on a Sunday afternoon, so that's why it's taking so long to go 79 miles. Anyway, total of 1,144 miles on the DFW trip, 449 watt-hours per mile. You will see terrible efficiency starting out, as always, until we level out from the DC fast charging. That's after the HVAC system gets the battery cooled back down. That'll all normalize. So more details to follow, but yeah, it's been a good trip. Appreciate you following along, and we're almost there. Okay, we're about to cross the lake. I think it's Lake Ray Hubbard, into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 4 miles, we're going to get on President George Bush Turnpike. Then from there, we'll take that up probably to 35E, exiting that to 407 into the Flower Mound, Texas area. I am manually driving for a bit. I haven't driven most of this entire trip. I just kind of felt like driving for a little bit, so I am manually driving. As we get closer to George Bush, I'm going to let it take over there. There's just so much traffic and so many lanes. It's just easier to let the car drive. We have been driving for 28 minutes, 428 watt-hours per mile for the last 32 miles. It's 65 degrees now, so much nicer over this way. 11:45, showing a 12:38 p.m. arrival time. Arriving with about 48% on the battery. Way overcharged, but that's okay. Got plenty of juice. Alright, I will update you here a couple of times more, and then we'll finish out the trip. Okay, still running at highway speeds. A little bit of a rough section of road here, but we are on George Bush Turnpike, 23 miles to 35E, 12:37 ETA. We've dropped maybe 5-6 minutes off that since we started. 43 minutes, 38 miles to go, arriving with around 48% on the battery. Been driving for 37 minutes and 43 miles, 428 watt-hours per mile. It's all been highway speed, but better efficiency. There's not all the crosswind. It's much quieter in the vehicle. You can just tell this is a more efficient stretch of roadway, and we're seeing that improved consumption for sure here driving as we head up through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll be passing essentially through Dallas, or on the side of Dallas, up through to 35E, up through Louisville, etc., and then 407 through Louisville into Flower Mound, Texas, and that's home. So looking forward to getting home. It's nice weather here. Feels good to be back, and we are almost there. Fully using FSD. Since before we got on the turnpike, I let it take over, and it's been doing the job, so glad to have it. Okay, I'll be back with you with another update in just a few minutes. Okay, so here's another update, 66 degrees, 12:09, showing a 12:36 arrival still. Arriving with 47% in about 18 miles. And we've driven 63 miles. It's like 52 minutes, 431 watt-hours per mile. Not bad efficiency on this leg, 2.8 miles. Jumping onto 35E north on that for less than 10 miles. And then all, they call them farm to market, or just general U.S. highways to the house. So almost there. 20,646 miles on the Cybertruck. And it has been good. FSD has been amazing. Really a game changer. Okay, I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, now we're on 35E, and FSD is driving me up through here. 67 degrees out, still warming up. Showing arriving now at 12:34 p.m. So gained about 9 minutes. 51% on the battery currently, showing arriving with 48%. 70 miles into the drive, 424 watt-hours per mile. efficiency has improved here as we've hit these smoother highways around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Anyway, coming up through Lewisville, Texas now, exiting off very shortly to the final stretch, 11 more miles, and we are there. So thank you for following along. This has been a fun video, a long one. Hopefully you learned some stuff about the Cybertruck and also about full self-driving, and or you just enjoyed watching it. Look forward to your comments. Just a couple more clips and then we are finishing this one up. Okay, we just got off of 35E, and I'm going to be honest, FSD, frankly, I think did a better job than I would have navigating up through that section. I hate driving, in general, 35E, and FSD just did a really, really wonderful job. Better than any Uber driver, better than most human drivers. It was really something. So, totally impressed. Now we're on 407, headed up here to Flower Mound, Texas from the Lewisville area. Almost home, 6.8 miles to go. ETA 1234 with 49%. Estimated 419 watt hours per mile. Should be better efficiency on this little stretch. This is just all stop and go now. So, all the way to the house. We're, about 7 miles from the interstate in either direction. We're right in the middle between 35E and 35W, and that's just what you deal with. So it'll take a few minutes, but we'll be there very shortly, and the good news is I don't really have to drive it. I just have to supervise. Been driving an hour and 3 minutes, 75 miles now. Almost there. Okay, so 2.4 miles to go, almost there. Still arriving with 48%. And 415 watt hours per mile on this last leg, 79 miles. I will get back into the driveway, give you a quick final stat update, and then that will end this video. I do appreciate you following along, watching. If you need any of the links I mentioned, they're in the description of the video. And appreciate your continue viewing. Anyway, it's been a beautiful day. Thank goodness we're back in Texas. Look at those blue skies. Super, super nice. I will update you here in a little bit. Okay, I thought I'd save us a little time, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my final thoughts now. I'm taking over, shutting off FSD because I'm going to back into my driveway. It'll pull in, and it'll actually pull into the garage on this newest version. Kind of crazy. Anyway, beautiful day. Glad to be back in the Flower Mound, Texas area. And we have driven 1,223 miles to Dallas-Fort Worth, 445 watt hours per mile. You will see this last leg, 411 watt hours per mile, 81 miles, an hour and 16 minutes, making it here at 12:34. It's 12:33 now. So made great time. Got this done, and I had estimated this morning when we left we would get home at 12:30, so I was pretty close, off by just a few minutes. Thanks for following along. Have a great day, everyone, and be safe out there. If you have any questions, send them to me. I'm happy to help you out and happy to answer. Take care and have a great day.